Sly Cooper is without a doubt one of the most underrated and underappreciated video game franchises of all time. A game with a good story, a good missions, good gameplay, and good characters that I feel like doesn't get enough credit for what it did during this time period. And while the series may not get the same respect like Jak and Daxter or Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper has a very, very passionate fan base that's still going strong 22 plus years later, with the Reddit page still being very positive and very active, and YouTube channels still posting content about it that still gets at least thousands of views every single time someone talks about Sly. Yes, you guys read the title correct. I will be ranking every single Sly Cooper mission from the first game to the fourth game. So the only reason I'm doing this list is because I have not seen anybody else on YouTube attempt to do it, and I can understand why, because it is a very, very hefty goal to rank every single mission. So other than that, you guys, if you guys are ready, I'm ready too. Let's get started. Number 207. Charged TNT Run from Sly 2. After playing every single Sly Cooper game over again, this mission still ranks the worst easily for me, because it's just so freaking difficult and tedious to get through. You can't jump out of the bill while you have the fuses on, otherwise it'll explode. The map is very tedious to figure out and get through, even though I think that works to the map's advantage for making this mission very difficult. Like with some of the other Sly Cooper missions, I get bored thoroughly while I'm playing them, but they don't like make me angry. It's just tedious more than anything. This is like an angry type of tedious, where you get so close so many times only for something stupid to happen, like a guard turning around at the last moment and spotting you and blowing you up. It's just, this is one of the reasons why I still hate this mission to this very day. I hated it when I first saw it, and 10 plus years later, I still hate it now. Number 206. A Deadly Dance from Sly 1. If you have the PS3 version of Sly 1, then you understand why this mission ranks so low on this list, because the music is so out of sync that you literally have to figure out how to press it on time. I've seen some people say they'd like to mute the music, but I think that's cheating, so I never mute the music when I do that section. So, but for me personally, I just can't, even on the PS2 version, when I still play the PS2 version of this game, I still can't get behind it. Quick time events are normally not my greatest specialty, but from what I've seen from other people, this mission they don't care for either, because of the quick time event and because of the PlayStation 3's port being enabled to sync the music correctly. So this is another reason why this mission ranks so low on this list. Number 205. Tank Showdown from Sly 2. Again, why are we only allowed to use the analog sticks to move and shoot in this game? Like, they couldn't seriously have made the shooting button the R1 button like it always is, but I digress. I'm not going to go too much into this. It's basically, like I said, you use the analog sticks to move and shoot, but because you can only use those two buttons, it really is a load of BS sometimes, because it's really hard to control that thing and maneuver that thing sometimes. Number 204 and number 203. Deep Dive / Deep Current from Sly 3. These two basically share the same slot because they're practically the same exact mission, just with different things about them. And if I had to pick which of these two I prefer more than the other, I definitely prefer Deep Dive over Deep Current. Because at least with Deep Dive, you can go at your own pace. Deep Current forces you to be quick with the quick time event. So that's one of the reasons why I prefer Deep Dive just slightly. But again, they're the same mission, and missions that I really just don't like. Bad controls, waste of a good character, and absolute filler in a game that was trying a bit too hard to be incredible. Number 202 / 201. At the Dog Track / A Desperate Race from Sly 1. These two, much like the last entries, they are basically the same exact mission, but one is far easier than the other one. The far easier one being a Desperate Race. At the Dog Track was easily the much harder of the two, and I didn't realize this till recently, till I saw on Twitter or Reddit somewhere, that apparently Panda King's entire world was supposed to be the very first world we go to in this first Sly game, which explains why a Desperate Race is far easier than at the dog track. Cause let me tell you something, I flung my controller a couple of times at the dog track. Desperate Race, it wasn't too bad, but again, I just don't like to only use the analog stick controls anytime they try to do the racing thing in Sly. And just be on high alert because this whole racing the AI thing in Sly is gonna be a very recurring thing that comes in the bottom half of this list. Number 200. Starving Hippo from Sly 4. If I had to describe this mission in 2 words, it's pathetic and boring. Like seriously, all we have to do is chase around penguins with Murray. On top of that, these little pricks are very hard to get sometimes. And plus, they just like to troll you while you're being chased around. On top of that, you have to avoid the guards that are also in the area too, so that becomes another pain in the neck. Plus, the side story that they try to tell with Murray feeling down about himself because he wasn't able to climb an ice wall is insulting to his character of old, who literally had to go through a drug-induced rage and then have to live with his best friend being crippled because it was his fault, even though it technically wasn't his fault. Like, again, this mission really irritates the piss out of me. Pathetic in the story, boring in its concept. Number 199. Down Home Cooking from Sly 1. I was torn between this mission and Starving Hippo for the longest time, but after really, debating it in my mind, I think I like Down Home Cooking just a tad bit better. I think because there's at least a bit of a challenge with this one. Like a race against time, I do like race against time stuff rather than the actual racing itself in this entire game. And at least the chickens aren't being little pricks to you the way the penguins were in Starving Hippo. Just collect enough chickens to make the gumbo for the batter and avoid the red explosive chickens and we Gucci. Now, that doesn't mean I like this mission, I just prefer it more than Starving Hippo. Number 198. Piranha Lake from Sly 1. Again, so I really hate the boat sections in Sly 1. I don't know if I said that earlier, but yeah, anything involving these little tiny boats that we have to use, I'm very, very against, just because I don't like this at all. And that's especially the case for Miss Ruby's area. Although some of the boat movement missions are better than other ones, this one in particular to me is definitely the worst by far in terms of that. Because this mission suffers from a Starving Hippo / Down Home Cooking problem, where it's a race against time mission and you have to catch these piranhas that are swimming in the lake and light fuses up in order to get the key. Again, I don't know how that works in concept, especially for a video game series like Sly Cooper, but again, this was the first game in the series, so obviously certain things they were testing to see what worked and what didn't, but I'm just so glad that they got rid of this dead horse after the first game. Number 197. Big Truck from Sly 3. Yeah, I don't like this mission at all. This was probably my least favorite mission in Sly 3 for a while. And even to this day, I still think it is, somewhat. It's definitely up there along with the Dimitri missions from Sly 3. The problem with this mission in particular is that it feels like regression in the series. Like, we went from Sly 1 to Sly 2, which was better than Sly 1, to Sly 3, which in some ways regressed back to Sly 1 territory with some of these mini games that they were trying to do. Because this mission, along with other missions in Sly 3 and a lot of them in Sly 1, it doesn't feel like Sly Cooper. Because what I get with Sly Cooper is I get a Thief of the Night. I don't get Thief of the Night driving a big truck trying to capture scorpions. That's how I feel about this particular mission. But this mission isn't as bad or as insulting as some of the other missions that I already listed. But this mission still isn't the greatest mission. Number 196. Battle on the High Seas from Sly 3. The ship segments from Sly 3. Oh man, I really do not like boat missions in the Sly series. I mean, aside from a couple boat missions or ship segments from the Sly series that I actually do really like, most of the boat missions in the Sly series I do not care for at all. Especially this one. This one feels very slow paced and dragged out, and for a mission that's supposed to be action-packed, this really feels very dragged out indeed. Although this particular mission does have a bit of fun to it, if you do like fighting multiple enemies at once, which has always been the staple for any Sly Cooper game in my opinion, but only if it's done the right way. Not like in like an all-out battle, but more like a controlled, let's settle this one-on-one or 2v1 fight. Number 195. RC Combat Club from Sly 2. Now, for whatever reason, it seems like most of the gadget missions in Sly, they're either very hit or miss. This one in particular is definitely a miss in my opinion. The RC car, although I think it controls much better than the tank in Sly 2, this one in particular I just still don't care for like that. Although the reason for this particular mission makes much more sense than some of the other Sly Cooper missions in terms of the storytelling, I just don't think that this mission was still that good either. And I really have nothing else to say about it. I think it's just another bland mission from Sly. Number 194. Close to Contessa from Sly 2. Now this mission ranks very low on this list due to it being a personal reason, and that reason being that I just hate spiders. I really do hate spiders. So trying to pickpocket the Contessa as a kid was a nightmare, a living nightmare for me growing up. Even to this day, I still get kind of freaked out trying to pickpocket the Contessa. It also doesn't help that there's guards always behind her, making sure that she's protected as she's walking, so you have to be sure you don't get caught by her. Again, this is just such a nerve-wracking mission if you really hate spiders or just hate creepy crawly things in general. Now, in terms of the aesthetic and the design of it, this is literally a top 50 Sly Cooper mission easily, but because of my fear of spiders, I have to dock it in terms of that, so I'm sorry to anybody who loves this mission. Number 193. Dynamic Duo from Sly 3. Now, in this particular mission, you have quite a few things to do. First, you have to collect information data from a gadget that broke in the air that a pirate shot, and then afterwards, you have to take that information and go to LaFouette's hideout, and then break in and figure out the stuff that you need in order to maintain Dimitri's treasure back. Then, during that mission, Penelope gets blinded by dust and can't see through without her glasses. So Bentley has to go and use the grapple cam to help get Penelope back home safely. This particular mission really combines the two things that I'm very not fond of. One, the RC car in Sly 3, which I will talk more about in a second, and then the grapple cam. Although I don't have a problem with the grapple cam in general, because I think it's actually one of the cooler gadgets in Sly, the reason I have a problem with it in this particular mission is because we have to lead Penelope back home safely, which again can be very tedious as heck. Although the upgrade on the grapple cam by using Penelope's turn was a cool little addition. Number 192. Down the Line from Sly 3. Okay, I could talk about the RC car in more depth now. So yeah, I don't like the RC car at all in Sly 3. Same thing with the Sly 2, but at least with this one, I can say I definitely like it better than Sly 2, just slightly. Now, Down the Line, this one hurts me a lot because this mission comes in one of my favorite chapters in the entire Sly franchise, in A Cold Alliance, but this is the worst mission easily in that entire chapter. Although I love the race against the time aspect because it forces you to really think outside the box, it just doesn't help with the fact that this RC car can be very uncontrollable sometimes. Number 191. Blow the Dam from Sly 2. There's nothing really bad about this mission, it's just really just basic. That's all I can really say about it. It's just another basic Sly mission, where you just have to basically shoot down the dam and avoid the helicopters that try to shoot you. All this just so you can try to flood Rajan out of his hideout so you can get the clockwork part. Again, nothing overly special about it, so that's why I'm not gonna hate on it too much. But the one upside to this mission that I really like is that it plays an integral part in how the story plays out later. Number 190. Moon Crash from Sly 3. Well, looky here, we have our very first operation, and unfortunately, it ranks very low on this list because it is easily the worst operation out of all the Sly games. What really messes this operation up is how it begins. Firstly, we have to use the Guru to crash into a helicopter, which again, the Guru's not the greatest character to use in Sly 3 by any means. Then we have to shoot down Carmelita with Bentley's darts, which only apparently make her bigger, which again goes beyond Rule 34 of how crazy this game got. Then we have to use the stupid big truck that we use for the Scorpion mission and try to stop Carmelita with it, which that doesn't work. The only redeeming quality about this mission is at the end we get to use Sly, who is easily the best character and most fun character to use, to climb up Carmelita, again, beyond Rule 34. So, yeah. Aside from the section what we use with Sly, and depending on your preferences as a video game player, this mission is easily the worst operation by far. And it's definitely one of the lower missions on this list. Definitely not the worst mission, but definitely the worst operation. Number 189. Crusher from the Depths from Sly 3. Another pirate ship mission, so again, I'm not very fond of those missions like that, so this particular mission ranks low on the list. One thing I'll give this mission credit for is that it tries to be innovative by having a giant sea monster that we have to face off against. Only thing is, Panda King, I'm not very fond of using as a character, so like try to use him to defeat the monster with can get very tedious at times because Panda King does charge up shots very slow, and the monster, for whatever reason, the monster moves faster than Panda King at times. We do get to use Sly for a bit in this particular mission as well, but it's literally the same thing as Panda King, only difference is we have to fire cannons at the monster. Not a bad mission per se, but just another bland one in my opinion. Number 188. Getting Stronger from Sly 4. If you saw a couple years ago my worst Sly Cooper's missions video, you would tell that how much I hated this particular mission in general. I just hated the zig-axis controller so much and trying to use that in a Sly game of all games. But the reason why it's not lower on this list is because all the other missions on it aren't that bad. It's just the zig-axis controller, so that's the main reason why I can't stand Getting Stronger like that. But I have to be fair in my critique of it, and when I did the critique of it a couple years ago, it was definitely out of pure bias. This one, it's more so just like, now that I'm looking at it through a full lens, the entire mission of Getting Stronger is not bad. It's just the zig-axis control I just do not like at all in that particular section. Number 187. Treasure in the Depths from Sly 1. Initially, this was in the top 10 worst Sly Cooper's missions list, but the more I keep playing this mission, the more it's kind of much more easier for me per se. When I was a kid, I definitely did hate that mission a lot, because like, if one crab gets the treasure chest, then you lose the entire mission. And I know I read somewhere that Kevin Miller hated this mission too, because he thought that he was not going to be able to see the rest of the game after just playing that one particular mission alone. So yeah. That particular mission, Treasure in the Depths, it definitely doesn't sit well with a lot of Sly Cooper fans out there. I personally don't have too much of a beef against it like some of the other missions, but it can still be a very difficult mission at times. Number 186. Deja Vu All Over Again from Sly 4. I have a love-hate relationship with this particular mission because I love what they do in the beginning, but everything else that happens afterwards just is a huge slap in the face. Because, firstly, I love that we get to use every single Cooper that we play with during the game in this final mission, and using every one of their capabilities to their advantage to help free Sly and Carmelita and stop the Paradox. But everything else after that sucks major booty cheeks after this. Firstly, the boss fight between Sly and La Paradox is easily one of the worst boss fights in my opinion. The quick time event does not work whatsoever, and it really feels anticlimactic. Secondly, how this particular mission ends the entire Sly franchise is just very insulting. The fact that we haven't had a single moment of like piece of memorabilia, a comic, or another video game after this to see what happened after the events of Sly 4, it really irritates me, and I know it irritates a lot of other people. So this mission leaves a very bad taste in the mouth of a lot of Sly fans, because this really felt very anticlimactic for a lot of us. And the fact that the one thing that people remember most about this mission is the first section where we use every single Cooper throughout history really says a lot about how bad this mission could have been and how much lower it should have been if it wasn't for that particular first section. But with that, let's just continue doing with the hashtag Free Sly from Egypt Let's continue doing that hashtag, and I'm even going to throw in another hashtag. Hashtag Sly5 comic book. Hashtag Sly5 comic book. Anybody out there? Let's get it started. Hashtag Sly5 comic book. Number 185. Battle the Chopper from Sly 2. This mission is very similar to the mission where Bentley has to blow the dam off the bridges in the second Rajan world. This particular mission is pretty much similar in that. Only thing with this mission is I prefer this mission definitely over Blow the Dam because it isn't as drawn out. It isn't a long drawn out battle like Blow the Dam is. If Blow the Dam was like letting a wound on your body heal after a certain amount of time, then this mission is definitely like ripping the band-aid off. You know, just rip it quickly and get it over with. It may sting a bit, but nothing too malicious in it. Number 184. Unexpected Ties from Sly 4. So again, I'm not very fond of a lot of the missions in the Ice Age section, and this particular mission in general, I'm not very fond of either. Like, I don't like the costume that they have for this particular section, and using this, it's very basic in my opinion. Nothing special about it. You just jump from one area farther than you can with or without Sly. And also, while I do appreciate the attempt at making a new Cooper, I just think that Bob Cooper is not a good Cooper. On paper, the concept does work on paper, but the execution was just poor. Just very, very poor indeed. I would have much rather just have Slight and Common be in this game instead of Bob Cooper. Number 183. Going Up from Sly 4. Staying with the Ice Age section, this particular section I'm okay with. I'm okay with this particular mission. Like, the climbing is fun with Bob Cooper on occasion. And plus, I do get a bigger sense of accomplishment completing this mission compared to Starving Hippo, because at least it feels like there's an actual threat, not just some little pricks trying to piss us off. Number 182. Operation Reverse Double Cross from Sly 3. The next operation on this list, and yeah, I'm not a big fan of this operation either. There's just too much going on in this operation. Like, I've said this before about Sly 3, just too much action for operation in my opinion. Like, there's no thief element or sneak element. And you think with pirates that they would try to be as sneaky as possible to steal all the loot and stuff, but it's easily the most action-packed chapter and operation of the entire franchise. So yeah, this is one of the reasons why this operation ranks really low in this list. I know some other people like this operation, but it's just not my cup of tea per se. But I will give credit to Captain LaFouille for being a very dastardly villain in this entire chapter. Number 181. Operation Jurassic Thievery from Sly 4. This operation here is definitely gonna be the last operation that's considered bad, in my opinion, as the rest of the operations going forward from this is gonna be good to great to excellent. But yeah, Operation Jurassic Thievery, I just do not like this operation at all. It just doesn't feel like Sly Cooper to me. If any of my Sly Cooper fans out there can understand that concept where like the thief aspect isn't there for Sly for this particular operation, and it feels like there's really not that much at stake here. I mean, there is a moment where Murray almost falls into the lava, which is actually very scary when you think about it, but also it just feels like there's nothing else going for it. Aside from that, the boss battle in this with the Grizz is very, very stupid. And I mean very, very stupid indeed. Murray feeling a bit better about himself after defeating the Grizz is a somewhat heartwarming moment, but again, I just didn't like the story that they had in place for that to begin with. So this operation just really just serves the purpose of just being filler for a chapter that, in all honesty, probably shouldn't have been made in the first place. Number 180. Waterbug Run from Sly 2. This mission's very basic. There's nothing really like over the top about it. You literally just have to take a bug that somehow you can actually bug a room with, ironically, and just get it to Rajan's area where you could place it in his hideout and that you can listen in on all the conversation and plans that he has. Now this mission, it isn't really that hard. Like, when I was younger, it was hard because I thought you literally needed to put him in the pools, but it turns out that he doesn't die when you don't put him in the pools. He just makes a really loud noise. So like, as long as you're fast and you know the shortcuts in the area, then you don't really need the pools like that. You just have to know which pools to put them in and which pools are the closest. See, because what the developers try to do is they try to psych you out into thinking that you have to take the long way around when you can literally just take the shortcut as long as no guards are nearby, because if a guard catches you, it's on an automatic hit and you'll fail the mission. So yeah, this is one of the reasons why this mission is pretty basic for me. It's nothing like over the top about it. Like, it's average at best. Difficult in your first few attempts, but then when you realize the pattern, it's not that difficult afterwards. Number 179. Old Grizzle Face from Sly 2. This is one of the few Murray throws stuff at stuff missions, and this one is probably one of the lesser good ones in my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong, having a bear follow you is like the ultimate OP move, because the bear can literally destroy everything and anything that you want. And the objective of this mission is basically just to take the piece of fish that Bentley blows up from the water and throw it at these metal iron rods to open up oil spills that will shoot up in the air that Sly will need to paraglide on later. So again, this is literally another like mission where it's kind of filler, not too much filler, but kind of filler. It still makes sense in the concept of the story and what they were trying to accomplish. But like, I've seen better Murray Chuck stuff missions in this series, so this one isn't like one of my favorite ones. Not a bad mission, but just more like, okay, it is what it is. Number 178. A Deadly Bite from Sly 3. Ah, the Guru. The good old Guru. Now, if I had to describe Guru's missions in this entire series, I would definitely say that it's literally just a much more peaceful version of Murray's Chuck and Throw Stuff missions. So, this particular mission is basically, you have to ride on these sharks in order to destroy the magnetic field that Dr. M's island is projecting, since the Guru is literally too cool to wear metal on his outfit. This mission can be very frustrating sometimes because, much like the Dimitri missions, it's literally just like you have to be very quick and know exactly what you're doing. Because at first, I didn't know that you needed to have to jump on every single shark in order to possess them and then get them to bite the magnetic field. Once you know that little bit of information, the mission is literally just another filler mission, and not even like a good kind of filler. Number 177. Unleash the Guru from Sly 3. When I was a kid, I thought this was one of the coolest missions ever, but now that I'm old, I'm kind of like, yeah, it's kind of okay. It's not like the greatest thing in the world. I will say this though, it's cool in the concept that this is the first time we get to use a character that isn't Sly, Bentley, Murray, or Carmelita. So this was a pretty big deal if you was a Sly fan at the point in time. Now, does Guru live up to that hype? Kinda. Not completely, kinda. Like, again, it's cool to use a new character that isn't one of the main four, but like, it just didn't work for the way it should have worked. The concept for this mission is that you basically use Guru to manipulate guards on top of their heads and then bash them into stuff, even though the Guru's apparently supposed to be a very peaceful person, yet he's doing destructive things. Okay. Yeah, some things with the Guru in this game just doesn't add up in my opinion, so, you know, that's one of the reasons why I feel like Guru was kind of like potential wasted. And I know it seems like I'm being very harsh on the Guru, but Guru does have some good missions that I'll get to in a second. But yeah, for the most part, these couple of missions with Guru, they weren't very good, but there are a couple of good Guru missions that I'll get to later on this list. Number 176-175. Murray's Big Gamble / The King of the Hill from Sly 1. The shooting missions in Sly 1. I would say that most, if not all, the shooting missions in Sly 1 are very tedious. You know what, I could say that for every shooting mission in Sly, but like, the ones in Sly 1, they're very, very peculiar about certain things, because like, you can't shoot Murray because Murray will die from a one-hit kill, which was basically the common thing for Sly 1 at the time, which was the one hit and you're dead system. So glad they did that in Sly 2. Because even with the help of the horseshoe, these two missions with the shooting, they just like one bad shot. And Jay, remember too, because if you shoot the barrels while Murray's next to him, you can kill him that way too. So yeah, it's like these missions I'm not very fond of. And again, they're not bad. Much like a lot of these other missions that I'm talking about, they're just very tedious at this point, and sometimes you wonder why are they even in this series to begin with. But for Sly 1, I'll give Sly 1 that excuse because, again, like I've said previously in other videos, it was the first game in the franchise. Number 174/173. A Ghastly Voyage / Rapid Fire Assault from Sly 1. Practically the same mission. Only difference between the two is that I would say that one's definitely easier than the other. The easier one definitely being Panda King's World. The Ghastly Voyage is much harder because you have to shoot ghosts, and the ghosts move in bunches, so like trying to stop them all at once can be very, very difficult. The guards in Panda King's World are by far much easier to kill. Now, these particular missions, like I said about the other shooting missions in Sly 1, they're very tedious at times. This one, however, I do find much easier than the Murray shooting missions. You don't have to worry about accidentally killing someone by accident or misfiring. The only thing you have to worry about is just making sure that you protect yourself at all costs. Number 172. Pretty in Pinker from Sly 4. This mission has a little bit of everything. Well, firstly, you play as Sly Cooper. Secondly, you have to do the hacking missions, which we haven't even covered yet in this list yet, but we're going to get to them eventually. And then we have to do a dance with Murray. Okay, so let's just get this out the way. I love playing as Ryoichi in this mission, but the Murray section just didn't make any sense to me whatsoever, and we're about to cover an operation in a few that basically covers that same issue. Now, we all know that Sly has not shied away from using dance as a way to distract people, but the way they go about it in Sly 4, depending on the viewer, can either make you laugh your butt off or just make you feel very uncomfortable, especially if you have parents or siblings in the room trying to play this game with you. I personally was just thoroughly confused, but then I got a kick out of it after a while. Same thing with the other one. Number 171. All Rolled Up from Sly 4. Okay, we are at the other dance sequence. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. Let's just skip over to the other section of the mission. I actually like this section of the mission a lot. The part where you have to go through the blimp and stop the paradox. Then next up, we have the boss fight with Miss Decibel. And I'm not going to lie to you, this boss fight, recently, it's kind of like gotten a bit lower on my tier boss fights list. Like, I don't like this boss fight as much as I used to anymore. It still has its moments of being fun, but just now, after replaying it, I'm just like, I've had better boss fights. I've definitely had much better boss fights than this before. And altogether, the operation as a whole, it's definitely not the best one by far, but it's easily not the worst one either. There are moments with this operation I do actually enjoy, but just overall, this operation just isn't what it used to be to me. Number 170. Altitude Sickness from Sly 4. Another operation that I'm not very fond of like that, but it's definitely not bad. It's just very bland and average at best. This is understandable since this is the first operation since Sly 3, which is what, 7-8 years ago? So obviously the developers were trying to bring everyone back into the groove of Sly at this point. So Altitude Sickness. What makes this operation very bland to me is the fact that I don't care for the villain all that much, and what we have to do during the operation is kinda, you know, not the best in my opinion. Plus the boss fight I'm not very fond of either. But again, it's not bad by any means. It's just very basic. Like the very, very basic stuff you get with Sly. With the quick time events, having to, you know, maneuver around the boss before you can actually deliver hits on him. Defeat a set of guards that are in the area before you can get to said boss. So this operation is basically your typical Sly Cooper operation, and there's nothing like that makes it stand out or special like some of the other operations that use the same exact concept, but goes about it in a very interesting setting or format. Number 169. the Claw from Sly 3. This mission isn't too bad actually. The problem I have with this particular mission is the fact that we have to use this claw, which we do use in the operation for this entire area. As far as I'm concerned, the claw is relatively easy to use. The mission just gets very repetitive and it's pretty boring once you figure out what to do with it. Only thing is just make sure Murray doesn't get hurt and make sure they are actually destroying the oil wells, and make sure the guards don't destroy the batteries to the claw as well. 168. Rip off Ruby from Sly 2. This particular mission is Murray has to basically take a Ruby around and put it on a blanket for the Cooper gang so they can sell it to this jeweler so they can get the Cherry Bomb 500 to blow up the dam for Rajan's area. This particular mission can get very frustrating sometimes if you accidentally throw it at the wrong area or throw it too far, because I've done that a few times with this Ruby. Also, avoiding the guards in this area too can be a pain in the neck at times. It's not as ridiculous as something like TNT Run, but it's definitely just something that you could be very wary of anytime you play this mission. Number 167. Hungry Croc from Sly 3. Another Murray Chuck Stuff mission, and this one is basically the same thing as the last one. Only difference is you're feeding actual guards to an actual crocodile in hopes that it could destroy the Mask of Dark Earth. Don't ask how this is supposed to work per se, but it just does. This is Sly Cooper we're talking about. Logic in this game sometimes doesn't make any sense. I do enjoy throwing the guards in the mouths of the alligator though. It's just fun to throw these guards around and watch them freak out and panic afterwards. But it's another chuck and throw stuff mission for Murray, and it's a bit more unique than others, but not too unique. Number 166. Tiger Tail from Sly 4. This is one of those track down your targets and study them type missions, and this particular one isn't as good as some of the other ones in this series, but this one's not bad. It's not bad, but again, there are much better ones. I just don't like using the RC card for a tracking mission. I think the RC card is better suited for a mission that requires you to go through certain areas, but like for a tracking down mission, I just don't think it works for that concept. Not to mention the chicken outfit for this RC card is very stupid, and how El Jefe wasn't smart enough to figure that out, I'll never know. Number 165. Duty Calls from Sly 4. Yes, somehow, I actually like this tracking mission much better than the other one. Now, don't ask why I like this one better. I think it's just the dialogue that the Grizz has, which really makes me question my sense of humor sometimes. But yeah, I actually like this tracking mission much better. Maybe because I'm playing as Sly, it's not as bad as the one with the RC one. So that's why I like this particular one better. And like I said, the dialogue with Grizz, again, it's not the best humor, but it is funny listening to this dude talk to himself and the paradox. Also, Carmelita somewhat forgives us this mission, so yay! Somewhat. Number 164. Stone Age Reconnaissance from Sly 4. We are in the Ice Age world for the second to last time with this reconnaissance mission, and this reconnaissance mission is definitely one of my less favorite ones because I just don't like that world. Like, if you guys have watched my Sly Cooper videos, Worst Worlds, definitely I don't care for the Ice Age world like that. Like, on paper, the concept is cool, but in execution, it's like, it doesn't feel like a Sly Cooper world. That's why I don't particularly like the reconnaissance mission in this, because you have to do a lot of weaving in and out of the entire area, even though I do love the snow that they have and the sprint of lava. But again, Ice Age, that doesn't scream Sly Cooper to me, even though I do love that they're respecting the different eras of Sly. But again, I would have much rather something like, you know, Ancient Egypt with slight in common. Number 163. X Marks the Spot from Sly 3. Now, the treasure map mission. This mission, in the first section, you have to deal with the ship, and you guys already know how I feel about the ship. But the second half with the treasure map, how do I feel about that? Not too bad, actually. Not too bad. The treasure map, it's okay, and I love that it forces you to think on the fly and learn different phrases. But the concept of a mission as a whole, again, I'm not a big fan of like that, because I think it should have been more a stealthy approach, not like actual pirate approach. But again, that's just me per se. It definitely could be different for other people, and I can respect people having different opinions on it, because I understand that, you know, a lot of people actually do like this pirate section. I particularly just don't care for it, because I think it takes away from the stealthy aspect, but this particular mission I actually do kind of like. Number 162. A Hazardous Path from Sly 1. This particular mission, you have to use a turret, and I'm not a fan of the turret, but I do enjoy this mission because this is literally the first mission into Clockwork's world, and getting ready to see what this mechanical bird looks like. So the excitement that I have for entering the final world of Sly 1 always trumps the inability to use this turret sometimes. Because believe me, the accuracy of this turret can be straight doodle. Number 161. A Perilous Ascent from Sly 1. This particular mission is the same exact one as the last mission and a couple other missions I'm going to talk about in a sec. But it's basically the intro mission for Panda King's world, and I do like this mission. What I'm not a big fan of is that it's relatively simple and not as intricate as some of the other missions in Sly 1. It's still enjoyable to play, mainly because 1, I love snow areas, and 2, I find Panda King's world very underrated. But I can understand why some people will not be a big fan of this particular mission per se. But I don't find it boring as some of the other missions. I actually do kind of like this mission a bit. Number 160. The Hazard Room from Sly 3. This is a bonus mission from Sly 3. This is basically a training mission for all 3 original members of the Sly Cooper gang. It's basically there for anybody who's playing this game for the first time and needs an introduction to Sly. Basically, this is that type of mission for you. This mission, I like doing the training, but I also feel like it kinda is misplaced. What I basically mean by that is that this comes right after another mission that I'll talk about later in this list that really feels very forced and unnecessary, especially since if you've been playing Sly back to back to back, this mission comes across as unnecessary to the entire game. But again, this is just an extra mission for anybody who's looking for more Sly Cooper fun. Number 159. All the hub worlds in Sly 1. I'm not going to go into too much detail here. This is basically just a filler spot that I needed to fill out. So yeah, all the hub worlds in Sly 1 from, you know, Prowling Grounds, Mugshot's Turf, the Dead Swamp Center, and then inside the Stronghold. Yeah, basically this is just a placeholder for this spot. Nothing major about it. Number 158. Ghost Capture from Sly 2. I hated this mission initially, but over time it's kind of grown on me a bit. I guess it just because like taking pictures of the ghosts while they're moving can be a bit tedious at times, but it's more tolerable than most other missions that I played in this series. So again, I don't have a big problem with this mission. It's just more tedious than anything else. Number 157. Bentley Comes Through from Sly 1. This is the very first hacking mission in Sly Cooper featuring Bentley, and I'ma say this, I'm glad that the hacking missions got much better over time, because this one here was just not it. It's just way too easy to get hit and killed in this. And again, I know this is the life system thing that was going on at the time, so again, I'm really glad they got rid of the one hit and you're dead system. So yeah, this particular mission, it's a nice change of pace from what we were dealing with in the first Sly game. So yeah, this definitely was a way into what Bentley could do in future Sly games. Number 156. Descent into Danger from Sly 1. This mission isn't too bad. I actually do like this mission a lot, because it just features the same old technical abilities with Sly that we've been seeing throughout the entire game. I will say this though, however, is that this is where the game starts to get a bit repetitive and stale in its style. So like, you're literally doing the same thing as you did in the first 2 worlds, which is the problem that I have with this particular mission, even though I still like playing it. But this particular mission, along with the next few that I'm about to talk about too. 155. A Grave Undertaking from Sly 1. Same as the last mission, you have to just basically go through the area and deal with different obstacles along the way. So again, this is getting a bit repetitive, so that's why I placed it as the same spot as number 156 just now. Number 154. The Dread Swamp Path from Sly 1. The introduction into Miss Ruby's world, and I will say, this definitely left a mark, but for the wrong reasons for me, because this was the world where I saw spiders, and yeah, if you've been watching any of my lists, and this one included, you already know I already don't care for spiders like that, so this mission definitely scared me straight, and I didn't finish this game for the longest time off of that. Number 153. Leading Rajan from Sly 2. This mission gets a bit boring at times, not completely, but at times, because it's like you have to spend a long time trying to figure out how to get Rajan to come to the watermelons to eat them so he can fall asleep. And sometimes those ping points that you use in Benelli's Binocucom can either lead him the wrong direction or the right direction sometimes. So yeah. Plus, also be careful when you try to steal the blueprints from this dude, because he will wake up immediately afterwards and you have to run away very quickly. Number 152. Contemporary Truths from Sly 1. The first ever mission where Sly and Carmelita work together. You know, this mission actually is very heartwarming, seeing Sly and Carmelita team up for the first time. So I do like it in that sense. This mission is kind of exactly the same as the Murray shooting missions, but I like this one a lot more in the sense that there's actually a better story being told. Don't get me wrong though, I still hate the way this thing shoots and operates sometimes, but again, I do love what they try to go for in this story. Number 151. Splunking from Sly 3. Anyone who's trying to drop out of a class or a school or quit a job that they've wanted to leave for the longest time knows how bad this mission relates to them. And for Murray, he has to go through an entire cave just so he can get up to the guru, and go through many obstacles just so he can not flunk out of school per se, but basically take a break from school. Getting through the cave isn't that big of a deal in all honesty, but there is this one section that took me a minute to figure out, which was the triple piston, where you have to use Murray's aboriginal ball form to break the pistons down. And the one section where you have to do 3 of them at the same time can be very time consuming, but it, you know, again, compared to other missions, this mission is not bad. It's just average at best. Number 150. Search for the Guru from Sly 3. The introduction level to Rumble Down Under, where you have to look for the Guru in the area using Sly. Now, this mission has a lot of funny moments in here. This particular mission has a moment where Murray literally says to Sly that he literally, let's just say that he may have laid one while in the Guru's hut one time. Murray in this mission is just absolutely hysterical, bruh. He has so many funny moments in this mission alone. Like, Murray as a character is by far one of the, if not one of, maybe the funniest one in the entire group. So the comedy in this mission really makes up for what it lacks in originality and personality. Number 149. Photo op from Sly 4. The very first hub world mission in Sly 4. Basically, the classic reconnaissance mission, where you just go around the area and take reconnaissance photos to get an idea of what you gotta do. This mission is very basic because, again, reconnaissance photos missions, they're fun, but they do get repetitive after a while. But also, this mission, it's a bit more unique in the sense that this is the first Sly game that we've had in 7 years. So I'm more than happy to do any reconnaissance missions at this point. Number 148. Spiked Sushi from Sly 4. For this mission, we basically have to use real Ouija to climb inside an old tavern and then cut off a poisonous plant seed from these evil plants inside of the tavern. Again, it's another basic mission, and again, I like using Ryoichi. He's not my favorite Koopa to use, but he's definitely one of the better Koopas to use in this series. Number 147. Tarball from Sly 3. The very first mission in Sly 3 where we get to use Murray, and his new move, the Aboriginal Ball form, which he learned from the Guru. This move is definitely fresh and very exhilarating to use from time to time in this game, especially with the height that you go in this particular mission, so I do like this mission for that aspect of it. But again, it's another basic mission for Sly, nothing major going on with it. You just basically have to use Murray to destroy the tar pumps in the area, and the only catch in this mission is you cannot punch with Murray, because Murray is still on the quest with the Guru to remain peaceful at all times. Number 146. Rugrats from Sly 4. And no, I'm not talking about the one with Tommy and Chucky and Phil and Lil and them. I'm talking the 40 Thieves with a bunch of different rats and having to evade inside a rug shop to save one of them. We use Salim Al-Kupar for this particular mission. And the one thing about this particular mission is that it has one of the hacking missions for Bentley. There's 3 different versions of it in the Sly 4. I haven't talked about it all in this list yet. But in this mission, they give us the worst one, which involves the darn Z-axis controller. And I've stated briefly before how much I hated the Z-axis controller. So yeah, that's what downgrades this mission a bit, because everything else before the Z-axis part, I like it a lot. Number 145. Laser Redirection from Sly 2. The one thing I really like about this mission is the fact that it forces you to walk about the area and learn your surroundings as you're trying to redirect all the lasers in the area, so that's a major plus to it. It can get a bit tedious at times because you have to figure out where each laser is going. And plus, if you like Easter eggs, we also get to free a woolly mammoth who ends up freezing back to death afterwards, and we figure out where he is in a later mission. Number 144. Recon the Sawmill from Sly 2. Just another reconnaissance mission, and like I said before, I love all the reconnaissance missions in this game. Well, not all, most of them. And definitely for this area too, because I love snow areas and reconning the area. And we also get to learn a bit more about John Bassan's character in this particular chapter as well. It's a good reconnaissance mission, but compared to other ones in this game that I'm going to cover in a sec, this one it pales in comparison to the other ones that I've done at least. Number 143. Silence the Alarms from Sly 1. The classic Murray Chuck stuff at object to destroy it. So this particular mission, I do like it because it actually fits in with the theme of the story. Like the other Murray Chuck stuff missions, they're good, but they also feel like they're kind of like put there just to put there. This one actually makes sense in the terms of like we're trying to make sure that Dimitri has no idea what we're doing here. It's a good mission, and it's a basic enough mission for simple Sly Cooper fans to get into and understand how Murray controls, and gives them an opportunity to understand how the story progresses in this game. Number 142. Gunboat Graveyard from Sly 1. I like this mission a lot. Well, I can just say that most of Sir Raleigh the Frog's missions I actually do really like a lot, aside from, you know, Treasure in the Depths. But yeah, I like this mission a lot in the sense that we get to explore the pirate ships that are down here. We get to do a lot of climbing, a lot of aerial acrobatics in here. There's also this one section where as you're like sneaking across the ledge, there's an eyeball that's looking at you, which is kind of creepy, but adds to that coolness factor of Sly that we all love about it. And yeah, that's basically everything I have to say about this mission. I really like this mission a lot, you know, but there are other missions in this series that I actually really like a lot more than this one. Number 141. Flaming Temple of Flame from Sly 1. Another beast of a mission here. We get to explore another area of China here, and we also get to explore like a mini temple where we see ninja monkeys practicing and training. Also, the snow in this area is absolutely beautiful to walk across, and it actually feels very cold outside. And also playing as Sly, you feel like you blend in with the snow in the nighttime setting as well, feeling like you're an actual thief of the night. The only thing that holds this mission back for me is whenever I do the clue bottles in this mission, there's always 2 or 3 that I end up missing at the very end and I can never find them. And plus, this mission isn't as memorable as some of the other Sly Cooper missions that I'm going to talk about that are higher on this list, but it's still a great mission to play. Number 140. Disco Demolitions from Sly 2. Our very first attempt at playing as Bentley in Sly, and let me tell you something, it definitely didn't disappoint. Now, some will say that Bentley was definitely much more mobile in Sly 3 than he was in Sly 2, but I still love Sly 2's version of Bentley a lot, because he was just such an OG in this game, especially in the chapters that involved the Contessa. And this mission right here was a prime example of what Bentley could be in future Sly games. The intelligence that no one in the game can understand combined with the master demolition, and boom, you got yourself a great character to play as. Number 139. Water Pump Destruction from Sly 2. The first mission where Murray is a playable character in this franchise, and it's just as good as Disco Demolitions in my opinion. The one thing I love about this mission is that they keep the gameplay for Murray very simple, the chuck and throw stuff, which again is very basic, but it works if the story works properly for it. It does with Silence the Alarms, which I talked about earlier, and it works great for this mission as well. Basically, you use it to destroy lasers, defeat any guards, and you can even throw the guards into the area that you want to throw it at. In this particular mission, we get to use guards to destroy a water pump that apparently is going to play a vital part in the operation that we have later. Number 138. Aerial Assault from Sly 2. This is the very first train mission that I put on this list, and it definitely will not be the last. And the fact that it's this high on the list shows how much I love these train missions. Now, out of all the train missions in Sly, this one is definitely my least favorite just because we have to use an actual object rather than the character themselves, but I still love using Bentley's helicopter in Sly 2, mainly because the helicopter controls very good in this game compared to other games with Sly, and also the fact that it makes sense in this mission because you want to make sure you destroy all of John Bassan's defenses whenever Sly, Bentley, and Murray go for the other clockwork part that's in here. So yeah, my least favorite train mission, which is saying a lot because it's very high on the list. Number 137. Spice Grinder Destruction from Sly 2. Okay, so this mission is basically an easier version of TNT Run, where you don't have to race against time, or you don't have to worry about the barrel getting destroyed. If a barrel gets destroyed, you can always just grab another one. So, this particular mission I love in the fact that it forces you to think outside the box and know your area, because again, knowing your map is very crucial in these games. And again, like I said, it's much easier than TNT Run by a landslide, which is why I like this mission a whole lot more than that one. And plus, we're doing the world a favor by destroying all the spice shipments, so it makes Sly out to be more of an anti-hero rather than a straight up anti-villain in this franchise, which I love dearly, as it adds more complexity to the character of not only Sly, but the entire gang as well. Number 136. Thermal Ride from Sly 2. You can never go wrong with a paraglide mission for Sly, because paragliding is one of the greatest attributes of Sly's entire arsenal, and it's such a shame that the only other character that has a paraglide is a character that we can't even use. Yes, I'm looking at you, Neela. But basically, remember the oil wells that we had to destroy earlier with the bear? Now we have to use the paraglide to basically paraglide to the oil hills and shoot us up in the air so that we can go to an island that's far away, so that we can retrieve a baby mama's egg before it catches us, so that we can use it to frame John Bassan for it. And plus, take the advice of Bentley in this mission. If you get too close to the flame, let's just say old Grizzleface will be having barbecued raccoon for dinner. Number 135. Turf War from Sly 3. We get to use Karma Leader too? man, this game just gets better and better, and on occasion a bit worse, but still, Sly 3 was a very good game, aside from the faults that it has. But yeah, Sly 3, one of the best things about Sly 3 was using Carmelita, because Carmelita's a lot of fun to play in this game as. Even in Sly 4, she has some fun to her. But Sly 3, I think they perfected that with the whole strafe and shooting mechanism that they were going for in this game. And it makes taking down targets a whole lot easier and a whole lot fun. Plus, I love Mega Jumping as Carmelita as well, as I believe that she's the best Mega Jumper in the game, even better than Sly. And she's inadvertently helping us out by getting rid of a lot of the Venetian Mafia gangs that's out there for Don Octavio. So this mission definitely is a lot of fun to play. Number 134. Satellite Sabotage from Sly 2. This particular mission is very short indeed, and you really don't have much to do in here, but it's just the idea of what Sly 2 could be from this moment going forward that I think excites a lot of people, myself included. So it's a basic mission, yes, but the excitement of what this game could bring is what's really driving this mission. Number 133. Stealing Voices from Sly 2. In this mission, we get a little bit of payback on Neela for betraying us earlier in the game while also trying to trick Contessa into giving up the clockwork part. The one thing I love about this mission, as I love about other missions, is that with Sly, you can never go wrong with Sly having to sneak into an area. And in this case, we basically have to use a voice modulator that we have to steal from an area in Contessa's castle somewhere. So that's another fun aspect of it as well. And once again, the OG Bentley is working his magic, manipulating the whole war to our advantage. Ain't that some shit right there? Number 132. Mojo Trap Action from Sly 2. We back at it once again with the OG Bentley, and this dude has to steal Mojo from a evil crypt. Quite a few evil crypts actually, which makes the mission even more chaotic but fun at the same time. Because, again, Bentley may be the weakest character in the entire group, but he's definitely by far has the most heart and the most intelligence when it comes to these type of missions, bro. Dude will literally break his neck for his team, and that's how much I love Bentley in Sly 2. Plus, his humor in this particular mission is off the charts. Okay, but enough of the praising. What about the actual mission itself? The actual mission is actually very fun and it keeps you on your toes. Basically, you have to know which buttons do what and make sure you press it quick enough. And if you know how to cheat the system, you basically know which buttons to use at the right time. Number 131. Code Capture from Sly 2. This particular mission is basically you have to use Sly to take photos of a code that guards have to look after. For it's the best way to get into Murray's cell without having to use brute strength. Because again, we don't have our brute strength to begin with. The one thing I will say about this mission is that I am very, very glad that they didn't use the actual numbers for the actual code in the part in the operation itself. Because if they did, that would have ranked this mission a whole lot lower for me. Number 130. Lightning Action from Sly 2. Okay, so this particular mission, it does kind of piss me off because Sly's being a bit unreasonable with his doubt in this particular mission. Given with what we've had to deal with in this entire franchise since Sly 1 into Sly 2, Sly should not be surprised at what happens anymore at this point. Basically in this mission, there's a giant attack robot disguised as a water fountain, and Sly is very skeptical of it. Again, we've dealt with ghosts, we dealt with the supernatural, we had to defeat a giant flying robotic owl that fed itself off of hatred. And Sly's skeptical of a water fountain that kinda looks like a robot which ended up actually being a robot. Aside from that little bit that pissed me off there, the mission's actually quite fun, really. It can get a bit tedious at times because you do have to travel a lot and go different places and figure out where the different valves are at, but again, that should be just a minor inconvenience because, again, you really want to see if this thing's really a robot or not, which I already knew was going to be one, and I think a lot of Sly fans knew. Number 129. Big House Brawl from Sly 2. Even though Murray is in jail, he still plays a vital part in this mission. So basically in this particular mission, Murray has to get himself thrown into basically a hard block cell because it'd be much easier for Sly and Bentley to break him out of jail with. Also, we get a bit of the story and how dark it gets in this particular mission, because Murray talks to Sly in this particular mission, and he says Murray acts funny after being fed spice by the Contessa. Now, this is going to play a vital part in how the story Sly 2 plays on, because of how it referenced drugs and what it could do to a person's mind state if they're pushed too far. But again, I'll talk a bit more about that when we get to the operation. But this particular mission, again, who doesn't love punching the shit out of people in this game with Murray? Like, it's absolutely a lot of fun to do it. Just don't get too cocky or get too overconfident, because the wolves in this particular area are strong as hell. Number 128. Wall bombing from Sly 2. This particular mission ties into another mission that I'm going to talk about a bit higher on this list a little bit later. But yeah, once again, we back with the OG Bentley. And this dude here has to figure out how to get rid of the guards along the area so Sly can escape the wall that he's in. So yeah, basically, in this particular mission, we're back to using Bentley's helicopter to drop the bombs on the guards. And this particular mission is relatively easy, actually. I could have combined it with the other two missions that I could have, like I said, I'm going to talk about a bit later, but I'm like, it makes more sense as a separate mission. And plus, once Sly escapes, it allows you to use Sly to get all the clue bottles in the area afterwards if you want, or just head straight back to the safe house so that you can figure out your next plan of attack. Again, a very simple mission, but I love the fact that they're using the member of the group that's the most scared and putting them in the very scariest area in the game to make you feel that uneasiness, while also at the same time making you understand, like, he can do just as good things as the other two can when he puts his heart to it. Number 127. Elephant Rampage from Sly 2. If we exclude Miss Decibel, and yes, I'm excluding Miss Decibel, there's only 2 elephant missions that I could think of from this entire franchise, and they both fall in the India area. So this particular elephant mission I like just slightly less than the other one, mainly because like it's very simple and basic, and you don't really have to do a lot of climbing and maneuvering and sneaking and stuff. The main task at hand is just getting the rubies off their heads, and these little jerks can be such jerks about it too, as cute and smart as they are. Number 126. Boardroom Brawl from Sly 2. Who doesn't love a good brawl in the Sly franchise, especially in this one right here. The Boardroom Brawl is good, but there's a couple other brawls that I like a lot more than this one, but this one's still really good and really fun to play. It's not as memorable as the other brawl missions, I'll say that for sure, but it's still a lot of fun. I think what lessens the impact of this one is that we have to protect Bentley during the brawl instead of Bentley helping us out during the brawl, so that's one of the reasons why I'm not very fond of it, because again, Bentley's health can drain very quickly if you're not paying attention. So that's one of the main reasons why this brawl is one of my lesser favorite ones. Still good, but not like up there. Number 125. RC Bombing Run from Sly 2. I won't go too much into detail about this particular mission, but I will say this, that the RC Chopper in Sly 2 is a lot of fun to control, and I mean a really whole lot of fun to control. Much better than the RC car at times in Sly 3. That I'll definitely say for sure. So yeah, this particular mission, you basically have to drop bombs all over the area in Rajan's area. It's a very simple mission, but also very effective as well, which is one of the reasons why I really like it. Number 124. Lower the Drawbridge from Sly 2. The good old-fashioned pickpocketing missions. Now, this particular pickpocketing mission requires a bit more expertise than you usually do, mainly because these guards are going to be in areas that you wouldn't expect them to be, and I'm not going to lie, some of the areas that they do hide in is actually very, very unexpected actually. This particular pickpocket mission forces you to really think about where to look and use your map to your advantage. Again, using the map is very crucial and key in the Sly franchise, whether it be through the binocular or you ping your waypoint with the R3 button. Number 123. Bear Cub Kidnapping from Sly 2. Okay, so this particular mission is very simple, but can be very nerve-wracking if you're scared of bears by any stretch of the imagination. So the baby bears are fine, but it's having to go inside an actual bear cave to get a baby cub from a mama bear, which you know is very pissed. So yeah, just be wary of that, because that bear is much more dangerous than the one in the world afterwards. Plus, this is something I've always wondered, but can Carmelita in that area take on the actual bear and win? Number 122. Follow Dimitri from Sly 2. The very first Trail Your Target mission in the Sly franchise, and I love this mission a lot because it really set the tone for what future Sly missions would be like. Also, this mission is very memorable in the sense that 1, Dimitri is a boss-ass character, and 2, just hearing Dimitri talk to himself is very fun to hear. And while we have other characters in the franchise that also talk to themselves as well, there's just something about Dimitri that just makes him stand out above all the rest. And it's one of the main reasons why Dimitri is such a beloved character in this franchise. Number 121. Spice Room Recon from Sly 2. In the second world of India, we have another reconnaissance mission as usual, and this one is in the Spice Temple in Rajan's area. The one thing I love about this reconnaissance mission is that we not only get to see where the spice is made, we get to study it a bit and understand how it works and how it operates and what it could do to other people in the future. It gives us a glimpse into how crazy this operation really is that the Claw Gang's trying to pull off, while also showing off how deadly and vicious each member is. And Rajan's Spice Temple definitely laid the groundwork for that. We also get to see the Clockwork Heart in its unrelenting, unforgiving, pumping state. 120. Vampire Demise in Sly 3. A Panda King mission, and I know I've said that I don't care for the Panda King missions like that, but this particular Panda King mission I actually do like, in the sense that you just get to stay in one area while attacking the targets. Again, there's a shit ton of targets in this particular mission, but because I'm still riding high on how great this chapter is and how much underlying tension there is with the hate with General Sal, and then Sly and Panda King still having their mini beef, I think the high of this chapter is what's making me love this mission a lot more than I should. But again, that's just me. It could be different for a lot of other people, but this is just me. Number 119. Saloon Bug from Sly 4. What puts this mission very high on the list is just how funny this shit is. Like, just seeing Bentley be a bartender trying to overcompensate for these jerks and idiots here is really funny and really chaotic. Like, this mission really does get very chaotic, bro. It's not even funny. And using Sly in these type of missions afterwards is always makes for a banger mission. The comedy this mission brings drives it much more than the story does, but it's still a very hilarious mission to play. Number 118. Bug Dimitri's office from Sly 2. Simply the same mission as the water bug mission, only difference is we're gonna bug Dimitri's room with a painting. Now, this makes much more sense in terms of thieving and the storytelling aspect. Since Sly is a thief, this makes a lot more sense than using an actual bug to bug someone's room. What also adds to this mission is that it also teaches you about selling art in the Sly Cooper world. So if you were to steal the painting and then bring it back to the safe house, Bailey can sell it on the DiefNet computer and get a ton of coins off of it. These are the type of things that I really miss about these old games, where the currency system wasn't using actual money but instead forcing you to use the game's currency money and then working hard to get everything that you earn in that game and not having to pay like $7 out of your credit card or pocket to do so. Sorry to all the Fortnite fans out there. But yeah, this mission is another classic Sly Cooper mission. Just sneak into the area that you have to bug Dimitri's office with and then just get out of there safe and sound. Just remember, don't get hit when you're taking any piece of valuable art with you, because if it gets damaged, then you'll fail the mission or lose the money off that valuable art. Number 117. High Class Heist from Sly 1. The one thing I love about this mission is that it really starts to hone in the idea of what Sly could potentially be in the future. So in this area with Sir Raleigh the Frog, we're in Sir Raleigh's area where it's very valuable treasure there. So we don't get to really steal anything in here, we're just trying to get our book back, but the idea that we could be in this high valuable area and sneak through it just fine, again, it paints the picture of what Sly could potentially be in the future if Sly 1 had a bit more time for development. But even without that bit of information, the mission itself is still really fun to play, and I love playing this mission anytime I replay any of the old Sly games. Number 116. The Hidden Flight Roster from Sly 3. What I absolutely love about this mission is how it plays up the idea that these are all muddy, grubby thieves that are just playing this game together, so we don't really have to hide our identity, we just have to play nice with everybody else in the area. You'd think that would take away from the thiefiness of Sly, but in some way or capacity, it actually enhances the story a bit for me because it shows that there are a bunch of other thieves like Sly out there, and they all got their own personal agenda to attend to. But this is just something that they all do on the side just for fun whenever the cops or Interpol isn't around. But anyway, not to ramble on too much, this mission is great because, again, adds to the sneakiness. You have to sneak around the area because the Black Baron said himself that the guards will kill you if you leave the area. So, you know, go out against your own warning. So, yeah, we get to Baron's castle, and then we have to help Bentley up, and then Bentley has to interrogate not interrogate, but investigate the area to see where the Hidden Flight Rosters is at, thanks to Dimitri's intel. Wait a second. Dimitri's here? Dimitri's here? Number 115. Into the Depths from Sly 3. In this mission, we have to break into Octavio's hideout and then steal some information from his computer. Breaking into the hideout is a fun thing to do and I enjoy it thoroughly. Unfortunately, you only get to use Sly in this particular section, you're not so much Bentley in this particular area, and Murray's not part of the gang. So again, Sly has to do most of the heavy lifting until we can get Murray back on our squad. So this mission in particular, it's a fun mission, but I also feel like it's lacking in terms of the character progression aspect. Number 114. Up in Smoke from Sly 4. We're back with the OG Bentley's helicopter in the 4th game this time around, and we have to drop smoke bombs in the area for Sly and Salim to get through the area without being detected. We also get another hack mission with Bentley, and this hack mission is by far my favorite one to do. I love the fact that Bentley looks like an OG gangster with guns shooting at aliens in here. Number 113. Jailbreak from Sly 4. No, not that mission. We're gonna get to that one in a second. This one, we have to break Sly, Bentley, and Murray out of jail with Tennessee Kid Cooper and Carmelita? Wait a sec. What's Carmelita doing here? We'll cover how Carmelita got here in a quick second, but for now, we're gonna cover an aspect of this mission. So, riding on a raft with Tennessee Kid and Carmelita. Carmelita has to shoot while she's on the raft, and Tennessee Kid has to do the heavy lifting and climbing and stuff. What makes this mission so fun is that it brings that Band of Thieves aspect back in Sly 4, but only using it with 2 very unique characters. And plus, it's from this mission going forward that we get a lot more character development with Carmelita, and I'm all for it, considering her only goal in the first 3 games was to literally capture Sly or help Sly in the end with a big threat. Number 112. Grand Key Larceny from Sly 4. This mission, we play as everybody. We play as Murray, we play as Sly, and we play as Carmelita. In Murray's section of the mission, we have to use Murray in a boxing/wrestling match with this big dude. And he is tough, but you can manage because Murray's been through much worse before. The second section of the mission, we have to use Sly to use the ball chain that we got from prison and roll on it to beat the time with Jackrabbit, who claims that he's the fastest rabbit in the entire West. But also beware the obstacles that are on this course, because they do say it is the deadliest obstacle out there. And lastly, we have to use Carmelita to win a shooting contest, otherwise the winner of the last few contests will... let's just say he wants to make out with Carmelita, and again, this goes beyond Rule 34. I don't even know what they're trying to do with this game anymore. But yeah, aside from that little tidbit, This mission is a good kind of chaotic. Number 111. Into the Machine from Sly 1. So, in case people got confused between which missions I was talking about with Into the Depths and then Into the Machine, so, because I almost confused myself too. Into the Machine is the one we're thinking of with Sir Riley the Frog's area. This mission does a good job at adding to that arcade aspect that Sly 1 was going for, but again, it doesn't feel like there's a major goal at hand that we need to accomplish. But the mission itself is fun, and it's also fun to watch these guys work and mess with the clock sometimes with them. Number 110. Lost and Found from Sly 4. The mission in which we got to see a very old and very I don't want to do stuff anymore Salim Al-Kupar. Yeah, this mission, if it wasn't for the fact that we get to do a lot of climbing and sneaking around in this area in this mission would be much lower because Salim's attitude really puts me off initially. But again, that only goes but so far, because the mission itself is fine. It's basically like a reconnaissance mission, just without all the photos and stuff. You're just trying to track down where Salim could possibly be at. Number 109. Open Sesame from Sly 4. In this mission, we have to do a couple of things. The first section of the mission, we have to buy 3 rubies in order to buy this thief outfit that Salim used to carry around, and we're gonna use it to slow down time and break into areas and stuff. The second half of this mission, we have to basically track down La Paradox and Miss Decipher, and I tell you, that is one of the more fun missions in this entire game. Another fun aspect of this mission is that Sly gets to bring back his very bad Italian accent. Number 108. Burning Rubber from Sly 1. Probably the best mission involving the van and driving it, because again, I don't like the racing missions in Sly 1. But this is not a racing mission per se, it's just grabbing as many of the computers as you can before the slime monsters do. And I actually like it this way because it actually makes a lot more sense with the car and how it's operating. And the only difficult thing about this particular mission is the fact that you're by yourself and you have to go against like 50 other monsters at the same time, but luckily these monsters are killable. And again, it all leads towards the final ending where we have to get to Clockwork, but we're gonna get to that a little bit later on the list. Number 107. Beauty and the Beast from Sly 3. The one thing I love about this mission is the fact that we get to see Carmelita actually go off against Mugshot. And boy, is this an epic duel of the ages. One of the best boss fights in the entire series easily. It's literally just a good old-fashioned shootout, just not in the Wild West in Holland. And the way this mission starts off is actually pretty funny as well. Firstly, we have to use Bentley to goad Mugshot into fighting him outside. And let me tell you, the way Bentley goads Mugshot into fighting him is probably the funniest and most PG-13 way of doing it. Then the second part of the introduction of this mission, we have to use Sly to go goad Carmelita into trying to capture him, which is very funny indeed because Sly's always messing with Carmelita and flirting with her. And then that's what leads to the grand clash between these two titans, and obviously Carmelita wins. And again, I just love this mission just because it's simple but effective in so many ways. Number 106. Canal Chase from Sly 3. I do like this mission in the sense that it tries to be innovative in a way with the shooting mechanics. Like, again, just sticking to the R1 button as the shooting is all that we need. We don't need no freaking analog sticks like we did in Sly 2. So I'm very grateful for that. Plus, also, I like the way that they go about this entire mission. Plus, I love how this mission shows how deeply Sly and the gang actually care about Carmelita despite being on opposite sides of the law. It really showcases a lot of character development and adds a bit more complexity to the story. Number 105. Danger in the Skies from Sly 3. We have the first byplay mission on this list so far, and this one's pretty good too. I like this one a lot because it throws a lot of variety at you. And we even get a mini boss fight, although to be honest, the boss fight I could legitimately just do without. Everything else before the boss fight though, I actually do really like because it adds a bit more flavor in the mini games that we've had. And even though I'm not a big fan of biplanes and Sly being combined together, somehow the game actually does make it work. But it's not my favorite biplane mission because standing at number 104 is Ace Semifinals from Sly 3. Basically the same exact mission as the last one, but I like this one a lot better because it's a competition to see who wins, and I love good old-fashioned competitions. So while there may be more to do in the previous biplane mission, this mission mainly focuses on just winning the contest. Nothing more, nothing less. Number 103. The Fire Down Below from Sly 1. Man, oh man, is it hot in here or is it me? Because this particular mission makes you really feel like you're sweating your butt off trying to get this key. Another reason why I love Sir Riley's area a lot more, because it really does, the environment really does make you feel the temperature that it's giving off. Yes, this is another simple get Sly through the area to get the treasure key mission, but again, I can't emphasize this enough. The environment and the charm that this mission has compared to later ones still stands out to me very much to this day. Number 102. Kidnap the General from Sly 2. It's very rare that we see Sly in the game really kidnap people like that in these games, but when it does happen, it does capture your eye a bit, so this particular mission definitely did stand out to me. We're kidnapping an old general just so we can get them, just so we can figure out the coordinates of the missiles and stuff and tanks. That alone just is very, very creepy indeed. But at the same time, you know, it's like this man has fought in multiple wars and survived, so like we can barely hurt him. The only thing that he is vulnerable to, though, that we have to be careful for is fire and water. So if you throw him in the ocean purposely or throw him in a fire purposely, then he's gonna die instantly. Plus, the banter between the General and Bentley at the very end is very, very weird. I'll just say weird. Number 101. Something's Fishy from Sly 4. This mission just is hilarious, and I don't know why, but the humor in this mission is what gets to me every time. Like, the gameplay itself is very basic, and I'll even say it's not the greatest gameplay, but I just love how everything in this mission is just based off comedy. Like, the mission Phil is very, very funny. Like, there'd be times where I just use Murray just to chuck the barrel of fish to the ground just so I can hear him say, "Shoo, I need more fish." Like, I don't know why, that's just so funny to me. Then again, I have a very dry sense of humor, so like, this is just me. Probably not as funny to other people. Plus, another thing about this mission that makes it not like my favorite mission is that the area in the game is very, very dark. And if you have a TV that's not very bright like that, it can really, really turn off the experience for you in this particular mission. So again, if it wasn't for the humor and how much I just find it so hysterical, this mission would have definitely ranked a whole lot lower on this list. Now, we're going to take a quick little commercial break here because we're about to get into the top 100 missions in Sly Cooper history, which I know you guys are going to be very, very keen on watching. And let me just say, if you guys made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching the entire time. This video took a long time to make, and I appreciate any support or like or subscribe that you guys give me after this, because it really does help the channel a lot, and it really makes videos like these continue to come out. And also, because this is a commercial break, I wanted to promote a few things before we go any further. Firstly, I got 2 films coming out within the next year, hopefully. First film is going to be the football game between Mario and Sonic, which I really hope I can get out by January or February. And then after that, we got Mario, Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi having to work together to help save the 3 other princesses before Bowser uses them to take over the world and marry them all. And for the last bit of promotional material that we're going to give for this particular video, I'm working on an original comic series that hopefully I can get out by sometime late 2025 or early 2026. This is something I've been working on my entire last few years on, and I hope that you guys could, take the time to read it. There's a lot of elements to it that's similar to Sly Cooper and Spider-Man in a way, so I hope you guys can, take the time to read it. I'll go more into it a bit later, but I just wanted to throw that out there. Okay, now that the commercial break's over, let's get back to the list and go over the top 100 Sly Cooper missions. Number 100. Breakout from Sly 4. In this mission, that's literally what the title says. We have to break into a jail and break out Ryoichi Cooper from El Jefe's jail. I love this mission a lot because, again, it's the sneaking in part and then having to free one of our ancestors. Also, the very first ancestor we get to see in Sly Cooper's history. We get to actually see them in person, which is very, very cool. A very cool moment indeed. Plus, the way this mission goes about using the suit of armor, then rather than just using the disguise to get through guards, the suit actually makes a lot more sense, in which you can actually just walk past the guards quicker while also using the suit in action as well. Everything about this mission just screams Sly Cooper. Everything that a new age Sly Cooper game should be. This mission should be the prime example of what Sly Cooper missions should be like going forward. Number 99. Cabin Crimes from Sly 2. In this mission, we have to break into several different cabins in order to gain pieces of information about the Iron Horse trains that John Bassan's running, and also the blueprints to his entire operation as well. What I love about this mission is how explicitly maniacal and dark it gets, and how it looks very kiddish from a far range, but in close range it's actually very, very scary what this game gets away with. We're in the cabin of John Bassan and we get to see his severed moose head in his cabin. Wait a sec, aren't his guards mooses? And didn't he mention something about something he did to a guard that gave him a score other than 10 in the Canada operations mission? Also in the fact that when you go around this area and you just look at all the guards and you just look at how cute and cuddly they are, and it just gives off the impression that these guards really don't want to do John Bassan's bidding, but they're doing it out of fear of him. Like, stuff like that is what I miss in these video games. They're just very, very visceral in how they tell the story, and I absolutely love what Sly did in this game. And what Sucker Punch did with this game and telling the story the way they did, it was absolutely incredible. Number 98. Short Supply from Sly 4. This mission is the good old-fashioned sabotaging everything you see mission. You basically just do what the Cooper gang does best. Go in, sabotage the area, and then get out before you're detected. This particular mission in medieval times is where we have to basically shut down all of the Black Knights area, basically just so they don't have anything or any resources to fall back on in case something happens. And the best part is you get to play as the 3 best sabotagers in this entire list that doesn't involve the hacking: Murray, Sly, and Sir Gareth Cooper. Number 97. Eye in the Sky from Sly 4. Very much similar to the Run and Bomb mission from Sly 3, this particular mission sees you destroying blimps, just like we did with Sly in Sly 3. Only difference is we use Sir Gareth in this particular mission, so I do get a bit of enjoyment out of this mission, just for what they reference in the old game. Number 96. Recon the Ballroom from Sly 2. The second reconnaissance mission in the second game, and boy is it a very good one. Man, do I love the reconnaissance missions in Sly. But this particular one I like a lot more in the sense that you feel like you're outnumbered greatly. Every photo that you take just makes you feel more like you're at odds, and more like you're in more danger than you realize. Because we're in Rajan's ballroom party where he's promoting the Clockwork Wings. And in this area, we not only get to see other Claw Gang members, but we get to see one secret Claw Gang member disguising as a cop, and then one member that's about to betray us very soon, and then the real cop of the group. So yeah, this is a very tough situation for us to figure out. How we're gonna manipulate the situation to our advantage, we just gotta leave it up to the OG, and we'll just figure it out from there. But yeah, I love this mission in the sense that it makes you feel like there's a lot at stake here, and a lot more than what we don't even know yet. So that's why I like this reconnaissance mission a lot. Number 95. Stand Your Ground from Sly 3. This mission could have explicitly capitalized on a mini story point that Sly 3 was trying to go for but seemed too scared to go through on. The idea that Bentley could turn against Sly. Because Dr. M was there, and Dr. M felt that same exact way about Sly's father, and if Dr. M could have manipulated the situation just a bit more with Sly and Bentley, this mission I think could have been a whole lot more interesting to discuss. Instead, it just kind of gets played off and rubbed off the wrong way, which again gives the feeling that it was rushed to an extent. That's why I'm not gonna be too mad at it. However, I do appreciate what the mission was trying to go for here. And also, you gotta love the fact that Bentley and Murray really do care about Sly at this point in the game, and even before the mission before, which I'll get to very late in the list, Sly feels the same exact way about Bentley and Murray, and knowing that the three of them together, they couldn't have gotten anywhere without one another. That's what I love about this particular mission. It's all about the brotherhood. Number 94. A Cunning Disguise from Sly 1. This is where the first stealth element came into play, and about using disguises in Sly came into play. We basically use a bell just to sneak through the entire area. And again, this particular mission gives you the idea of what future Sly games could be like back in 2002. We're at a point where, what if Sly could use disguises to get through an area at some point, one way or another? And I'm glad that even though Sly 2 touched on it briefly, and Sly 3 kind of went full throttle into that, I'm glad there was this little bit of information that could, give the developers an idea of what they could do for future games. This bell mission can get a bit annoying sometimes because you're very limited inside the bell, and again, this goes into what Sly 2 talks about with the TNT run, oh my gosh. But again, I prefer this mission way more than TNT run, easily. And I actually do enjoy, messing with the guards in this mission as well. Number 93. Heavy Metal Meltdown from Sly 4. I'm not sure if I have any heavy metal fans out there, but believe it or not, I am into heavy metal like that. Not as much as other heavy metalists, but I do love heavy metal music. Bands like Korn, Adema, Unloco, and System of a Down, I really like those bands a lot. For anybody looking for some bands to look into out there. But yeah, to get back on topic here, with Sly and the heavy metal, basically we have to use this mission on none other than Miss Decibel, who loves classical music, which again is another genre of music I really like. But we have to basically use a music that she absolutely hates, heavy metal. And none other than Bentley and Salim Al-Kupar are the ones to make sure that heavy metal goes off. And then obviously Salim Al-Kupar doesn't care for the heavy metal music either. But Bentley, my man Bentley is rocking out, and I'm all for it. Just seeing him absolutely enjoy himself in the music here. And I swear to you, I need a heavy metal version of that theme song somewhere. I know it's probably hidden on the internet somewhere and I just haven't looked yet, but I need to get a heavy metal version of that Sly Cooper theme right now. The mission here is very simple at hand. All you gotta do is use Salim to place the speakers in different areas of Miss Decibel's area, and then just use Bentley to use the darts to spark the areas and make sure the music plays loudly. And again, I love this mission because it combines my two favorite things in Sly: stealth and sabotage. Number 92. Windmill Firewall from Sly 3. The classic hacking missions of Bentley, and the one thing I love about this mission is how it gets creative in the hacking mechanisms, cause who would have thought that hacking into something would be able to launch a windmill as a heat-seeking projectile and manage to do something even greater for all of us, like breaking the dam open so that it allows another aspect of a mission that we'll talk about later to come into play. You gotta love what Bentley does for this team, bruh. You really gotta love Bentley as a character. My second favorite character in the entire series. Number 91, 90, and 89. All the tag teams are team-ups that happened in Anatomy for Disaster from Sly 2. So we have 3 different versions of this team-up or tag teams. We have the Bentley-Murray team-up, the Sly-Bentley Conspire, and the Murray-Sly tag team. Out of all these, I definitely say the Murray-Sly tag team is probably my favorite one to do, but they all rank pretty neck and neck with each other. These missions right here are by far some of the hardest and most tedious missions you'll ever deal with in a Sly Cooper franchise, but I feel like that's why I like these missions a lot, because Bentley literally said that every mission we did before these missions come up was literally just a warm-up round of what we were dealing with for the rest of the game. Up until that point at least. Because again, Sly 2 was by far one of the most difficult experiences we had to get through so far. But yeah, I placed this as a 3-way tie because I don't love or hate any mission more or less than the other. Even though I do have my preference for which one I prefer the most, they're all practically the same thing, trying to accomplish the same goal. So again, nothing more to talk about with this. Number 88. Operation Tarragon from Sly 3. We have to stop Octavio from destroying Italy with his tar pumps. We must save the whole city. Okay, so if you was able to get through that one little section, you know that 1, I can't sing, 2, Bentley can't sing, and 3, this whole operation is basically a whole lot of fun. It's very creative in its approach, and the idea of using singing as a distraction in this game is actually could have worked. It definitely could have worked much better than what we could have initially had. The game over screen to this is also very hysterical as well, and plus everything after you get past the singing part just makes up for it in terms of fun and excitement and joy. Seeing Murray finally rejoin with the gang and beat the absolute piss out of Octavio. Number 87. Boat hack from Sly 2. We back again with the hacking missions from Bentley, and once again, it's another stellar mission. Love the hacking idea in which that we have to hack into boats and then use the grapple lines for the hooks to basically drain a power cell battery in the area of Canada. For it's the only way it's gonna allow us to hop onto Arpeggio's blimp after we finish with John Basson's area. Again, the hacking isn't overly difficult, and if you die, it's a quick just go back and try again type of game over screen. It's very quick, at least compared to Sly 1, 3, and 4, shockingly. Number 86. Operation Wet Tiger from Sly 2. Man, oh man, this operation could have easily been one of the more bland operations if the ending didn't save it. The ending definitely saved this operation from pure blandness. So what we get with this operation is basically, we think Neela's gonna help us steal the clockwork part. Neela betrays us, leaves us to fight Rajan by ourselves. You know, Sly and Rajan are incapacitated, Murray's by himself and can't fend off against all the guards. And then we have Contessa, Carmelita, and Neela show up. Neela basically turns in the Cooper gang, betrays Carmelita too by saying that she's a part of the Cooper gang as well. Contessa takes upon the opportunity to arrest all 3 of them at the same time. Again, so much chaos happening in this particular mission, and the fact that we just lost our best, not our best ally, but an ally that we thought we were very close with. Neela's gonna pay for this, and we're gonna make sure that the OG Bentley is gonna get this job done afterwards. But the operation itself, it's basically bland, but I do enjoy what they were trying to go for. But in all honesty, it's the story point in this operation that makes me love it even more than probably what I should. Number 85. Lighthouse Break-In from Sly 2. In this mission, Sly, Bentley, and Murray have to break into John Basson's lighthouse and re-divert all the energy towards one section so that they can basically stop the silo battery from gaining so much energy from the northern lights that John Basson's been using to power the lighthouse and the battery with. The one thing that irritates me a lot about this mission is the fact that they don't give you a certain time limit, because you do have a time limit, but they don't show you how long you have before you have to get back to the top. You just have to get to the top very quickly so that you can overload the entire power circuit. But because I love climbing so much with Sly, it's basically a no-brainer as to why this mission's so high on this list. Plus, I love beating the crap out of these ugly ducklings. Number 84. Shopping Spree from Sly 4. I wouldn't call this a shopping spree, more like a stealing spree, but that doesn't make that any less fun, especially when you're in medieval England of all areas and we're dealing with a villain that we do not know truly just yet. But we're not going to get into that particular subject just yet, we'll get to that eventually. This particular mission in general though, it really does bring back the old Sly Cooper vibes that I missed from 2002 to 2005. The stealing, the sneaking, just with a bit more modernization. Number 83. Spice in the Sky from Sly 2. This particular mission is basically just like, jumping out of the airplane and just using your paraglide to fly through the area and collect spice so that we can drop on top of a caboose train and then blow up the caboose from the back. So, what I love about this mission, it should be no surprise, it's the paragliding. Who doesn't love paragliding as Sly in this mission? And also, I love the fact that it gets creative in how it attempts to be sneaky and stealthy. However, the one thing we do have to look out for is making sure that we actually land on top of the caboose. Anywhere else, we're gonna be blown to pieces, and I don't know if anybody wants to see raccoon parts everywhere, but yeah. Number 82. Cane Swipe from Sly 4. Oh, I love this mission a lot, mainly because of the game over screens that you have. I love how Bentley just insults your intelligence every time you fail. It's just so funny. Also, what I love about this particular mission is the fact that we have to sneak around the area and watch the Black Baron. Black Knight, sorry. Sorry, I meant the Black Knight. But yeah, anyway, back on subject here. Yeah, we basically have to trail the Black Knight around the area and see what they're gonna do next. We get too far away, we fail the mission, we get caught with fail the mission. Also, we just have to basically make sure that we take out the guards one by one and make sure that, we don't get caught so that we can put a hacking device on the machine that has Sir Gallop's cane and that Bentley can hack into it. And this hacking section, again, this is my favorite type of hacking in the entire Sly 4 game. The one where Bentley looks like an OG gangster with his gun shooting at aliens in the entire game. This is my favorite hacking mission of all time. And if they ever come out with another hacking game for Bentley, I want to see this hacking mission return, because this was easily my favorite one. Number 81. Mechanical Menace from Sly 4. Oh hey look, Carmelita returns once again, and she's with Sir Gallop Cooper? Wait a sec. She's trying to make Sly jealous by flirting with his ancestors? What type of fan fiction shit is this? Okay, so aside from the story that they were trying to tell with this mission, I do love this mission a lot. I do enjoy playing as Sir Gallop Cooper and using this special cane hook and cane strike to be able to travel through the area. I also love the fact that he's so headstrong that it's basically where he gets it from, where Sly gets it from. And also playing the second half of the mission, fighting this mechanical dragon as Carmelita. Carmelita's still fun to play as, just as she was in Sly 3. And just shooting at the monster. Again, I absolutely love everything about this mission. Again, I'm not fond of the story points or the fact that Carmelita looked like she came out of a Rule 34 book, but I enjoyed the mission enough to the point where it's actually very, very high on this list. Number 80. Octavio Snap from Sly 3. Basically the reconnaissance mission for Octavio's area in Venice, Italy. And we're just basically trailing Octavio to take photos of him and his entire operation. We get to see this man sing along the way. We see what vile things he does, like, you know, destroy bird baths, destroy river areas, kill a bunch of fish, all with tar, and then use a Ferris wheel to disguise an evil plot. Like, this is the type of stuff that I miss in Sly. And that I hope that one day they could bring it back and continue doing what they were doing with this series. Number 79. Cooper Hanger Defense from Sly 3. Initially, a couple years ago, I hated this mission a lot because I just felt it was just too much to do. But the more I kept continuing to play the mission, the more I was like, okay, you know what? This mission is actually a lot of fun. I think what I couldn't get past was the fact that they had us do so many different things, and the mission felt like it overstayed its welcome a bit. That's why I wasn't too fond of it initially. It felt like a light version of an operation, in my opinion, because you have a boss fight, then you have to do another different section with guards, and then another section with guards. So I guess that's why I didn't really care for it too much like that. But again, you know, time changes and heals all wounds, almost all wounds. But yeah, I like Cooper Hanger Defense a lot more than I did initially now. Number 78. Operation Trojan Tank from Sly 2. Well, what do you know? Hello, Operation Trojan Tank. We were just talking about you earlier today. In this operation, we have to save Murray from prison while also trying to capture Contessa. We managed to accomplish one of the two tasks. But again, this operation, I enjoy it thoroughly because it's very, very in your face. And the operation at first, I got scared of because obviously the spiders. But as I progressed in it, I still enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, this operation's very, very fun. The climbing around, sneaking around, the hacking, leading Murray to hit himself constantly in order to break him out of the brainwashing sequence with the freaking spice. And lastly, using Murray to try to catch the Contessa even though she escapes. I know Trojan Tank isn't as memorable as some other operations that I'll cover in a second, but it's still a really great operation. It's an operation designed to keep you on your toes at all costs, because this is by far the scariest area in the entire game. Number 77. Eye of the Storm from Sly 1. Don't get me wrong, this is easily one of the worst boss fights out there, but I think it's because this is the very first boss fight we get with Sir Raleigh the Frog. The nostalgia is what drives this for me more than anything else, because again, I feel bad for Sir Raleigh because like he was the very first villain of the entire franchise, so like he didn't really get a chance to really like stand out or shine like that. And yes, again, I know I said in my worst boss battles list, this was one of the worst boss battles for me easily, but I still think it's the nostalgia that drives it more than anything. As to the accomplishment of beating the very first Sly Cooper boss in history. Number 76. The Lair of the Beast from Sly 1. Again, what the heck is Ms. Ruby doing with this monstrosity of a creature in her backyard? Again, you know, Ms. Ruby is very off the chain, so something like this shouldn't surprise me a bit. I do enjoy this mission though, because like just figuring out how to circle the area and all the climbing and rope walking and hurdling that we have to do in this area is a lot of fun to do. And plus, trying to escape the beast as you're trying to do all that as well at the same time is very, very fun to do, as it gives you a little challenge and almost like a race against time kind of challenge. Number 75. Grapple Cam Break-In from Sly 3. We back in China once again, and this is not going to be the only China mission that makes this 100 list. So, for the China mission, Grapple Cam Break-In. I love the fact that we have to get creative with the Grapple Cam in this particular area. I wasn't a big fan of the Grapple Cam initially, but the more I kept playing it, the more I'm like, this actually does have like some kind of coolness to it and some kind of like sense to it. Using it as a way to distract guards and get them to come towards a direction they wouldn't normally leave their post from. So that's what I love about this mission a lot. And plus, you know, we're using Bentley once again, And Bentley, you know, with the hack packing mission, this is one of the reasons why China is so revered, in my opinion, because it combines a little bit of everything to the point where it's not overdone or underdone in either direction. Plenty of action, but not too much action. Lots of stealth, but not too much stealth. And a bit of shock here and there. Number 74. Giant Wolf Massacre from Sly 3. Remember how I said earlier there was a Guru mission that I actually did like? Well, we are finally at that mission with Guru. This is a Bentley Guru tandem. In this case, first section of the mission, we have to use Bentley of all people to track down a wolf, or a Lupus gigantormon, a giant wolf, and then shoot darts in its butt, basically, or anywhere that's at least within meters of the wolf. Yes, really, meters. And basically have to, you know, basically escape with our lives. But we just have to put enough darts in the wolf just so it can fall asleep. We have to use very 4 powerful darts for the wolf. And also we can't be too close to the wolf because it'll catch wind of the darts and try to attack us. And we can't be too far from the wolf because the bullets will just bounce off. So we have to figure out a way to basically do it where we're close enough but not too close, and far enough but not far enough. So if that makes any sense. Once we drug the wolf, the Guru can hop on the wolf, take control of it, and then we'll just go and eat up as many of the airplane contestants as we can. Also, don't let the wolf die, because the wolf can drown. It's just like any other animal. Number 73. Guard Duty from Sly 3. Bass, 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 soprano. Alto, alto, bass, bass. Bass, alto, bass, soprano. I just love Sly's accent in this, man. I mean, it's just so bad, but it's so funny. And I have a very vivid memory of this mission is because of the fact that I used this disguise in China thinking it was gonna work because Bentley said there was another disguise we needed in China. And it really... I used it and the guards still beat me up anyway. I'm like, why isn't this disguise working? Turns out it was a second disguise that I needed. So yeah, that's a fond memory that I have of this game. Just wearing the wrong disguise in the wrong area. Aside from wearing the disguise as Sly, we use Bentley for the second part of each mission that we're doing, or each section of the mission I should say, where Bentley basically has to look through the entire painting and find a 3-number code to unlock the safe that's behind each painting, which is a very, very cool concept for stealth and thieving. And something that I hope they can bring back in any future Sly game if Sly ever gets revived. Number 72. Get a Job from Sly 3. Okay, so going back to the guard duty mission, and the reason why I put it together is because this is the mission that I wore the Venetian outfit in when I shouldn't have. I should have figured out that there was a different disguise to wear for China. So, just figured I'd just connect those two missions together, why I put them close together like this. But yeah, in this mission, practically the same. Only difference is you have to take photos of the guard so that you can present it to General Sal as a way to earn his respect and the job for the photography of the wedding. So that's basically the main premise of this whole mission. We do get a funny moment where this monkey keeps trying to intervene in the photo, so we have to get him out the way by using a trap that's next to us to kill him and then get the photo done. This mission is a great start to what would be one of the greatest chapters in Sly Cooper history. Number 71. Bear Cave Buggin' from Sly 2. Okay, I need everybody to imagine this scenario. Imagine that you had to crawl inside a bear cave full of very hibernating sleeping bears and pickpocket in each and every one of their mouths a tooth that has a radio frequency that we can use to place around the entire area. Yeah, unless you're basically someone that absolutely loves bears or lives in an Arctic area and knows how to operate bears, this is basically not the best way to go about any mission whatsoever. But if anybody can do it, it was always going to be Sly Cooper. This mission is very nerve-wracking, but also a lot of fun in the sense that it's very Five Nights at Freddy-ish, where You just have to do your job correctly, and if you mess up in the slightest, you're gonna get eaten alive. Number 70. Ice, ice, Bentley, boom, boom, ba boom, ba boom, 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 ba boom, ba boom, 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 ice, ice, Bentley, boom, boom, ba boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I love this mission. This is the best mission in the entire area of Ice Age. Like, bruh, like the fact that out of all the missions in Ice Age, this is my favorite one because it just focuses on Bentley being such a gangster in this. It's so great and so much fun. I love it. Even more of a gangster than the gangster trying to be a gangster in that entire area. Just using Bentley to sneak through Griz's home area just to spy on him and then use some tracking darts on him and place it right on his butt. That's the funniest thing ever. But it's a prime example of how Sly could be, still have that comedy, but still be stealthy as well. Number 69. Pause. A daring rescue from Sly 1. This is the first mission in which we actually have to save someone. Who is that lucky person? None other than Carmelita Fox. And this mission is practically everything that Sly says to Bentley in the Binoculcom. You know, a rope walk here, a ninja spiral jump there. You know, done this plenty of times, so let's do it. So yeah, and this is another reason why I like it, because this particular mission really pushes you to your limit to see how much you've learned in Sly 1 up until that point. Number 68. Frame Team Belgium from Sly 3. There's another frame mission that we're going to talk about a little bit later on this list that I really like more than this one, but I still like this one a lot too. First section of the mission, we have to use Murray to get one of the Belgian flyers to laugh at a joke so that Bentley can pickpocket the guy while he's laughing. Second half of the mission, we have to use the Guru to bust open a van that's driving around the area. And then the last section of the mission, basically we have to use Sly, who had just gotten a handkerchief from Bentley after he pickpocketed from the Belgian flyer, to basically hop inside the van and then break open the safe, just so Sly can swap the Belgium and Iceland handkerchiefs. One of the main reasons why I like this mission a lot is because you really are out here trying to frame one of the teams. Now, I don't like this mission compared to another one because I think the other one is a tad bit better in terms of the framing, but I do like this mission a lot just because the framing competes well with stealth. Number 67. King of Fire from Sly 3. Hold up. You're telling me that we have to team up with the Panda King, one of Sly's greatest enemies? Okay, this is basically everyone's reaction when they saw the King of Fire mission. Obviously, the rest of the audience has the same expression as Sly, like the Panda King? Really? Of all people? Now, aside from Sly 3 kind of spoiling it in the beginning chapter, it comes full effect in chapter 4, A Colder Lines. At least this is the prequel to it. So yeah. One of the reasons why I really like this mission is because it's a change of pace, not in just the story, but the gameplay as well. Because like every other gameplay or area that we did, we basically just jump into the world. This gives us a mini world that we can explore a bit and then basically work to figure out how we're going to get up to the Panda King. So this particular mission was a nice change of pace because it adds a bit more spice and a bit more touch up to Sly 3. I also love that we get to use every single character in this mission, though I'm still not understanding how we don't control Penelope as Penelope, instead we just use a remote control car. That part of the mission I'm still trying to figure out, but I'm not going to think about it too hard. Overall though, I really like this mission a lot, and this mission was a great start to what was going to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest chapter in Sly Cooper history. Number 66/65. Neela's Secret / Moonlight Rendezvous from Sly 2. These two missions are practically the same mission, but I like Moonlight Rendezvous just a tad bit more than I do Neela's Secret. While Neela's Secret does lead you to the Clockwork Park, which can make the viewer feel more accomplished in a sense, I do find Moonlight Rendezvous just a bit better, because it's very crazy how like an undercover cop is willing to help us. I think the shock of that still rings true to me, and it's one of the main reasons why I like this mission just a bit more, because it's like we really are working with an undercover cop here. And it adds more complexity to the story, because it really paints Neela as much more intelligent and at her job than Carmelita is. No offense, Carmelita. Although later events in the game would change that entire perception, this point in the story really drove home how unpredictable Sly 2 could really get. We also get another section with Chase and Neela in a later mission, which is an operation, but I'll talk about that much later on this list. Number 64. Jolly Boat of Destruction from Sly 3. Don't ask why I really like this mission a lot, I just do. And I think the main reason for it is because I feel like I'm playing a Call of Duty mission when I play this mission. It's like, this is one of the very few missions of action-packed Sly that I actually like, and I don't know why. I guess I get just so much joy from using this tiny jolly boat just to destroy bigger objects, I guess. It's just so funny watching these two go at it. But the funniest part of the mission to me is Bentley getting all jealous of Sly and Murray's bromance at the end, which could also, maybe loosely or not loosely, or maybe I'm looking too deep into this, imply that Bentley's feeling some type of way about Sly's, friendship. And which leads to Dr. M later down in this game. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, this mission is just super funny to me, and I think that's why I like it so much. Number 63. The Talker Pirates from Sly 3. The very first mission in the pirate section of Sly, and it is still the best one to me to this very day. Mainly because we do a bunch of sneaking and thieving in the early section, and then we get a fun little mini game afterwards. So this is why I like this mission a lot, because it was one of the few things that maintained the stealth aspect in this entire chapter, which is also saying a lot. It's very sad to me, but if you want more detail about why I don't care for this chapter like that, watch my operation video or watch my episode video. But nah, yeah, this particular mission is by far my favorite in this entire chapter, just because it maintains all the aspects of Sly that I love so much. And also the mini game with the pirate, where we basically have to figure out how to say certain things without repeating certain things, is very intense. And this is the only time where you're punished for messing up, which is something that I wish they would have did more in the earlier section with dialogue conversation mini game. But again, it is what it is. We got what we got. Number 62. The Unseen Foe from Sly 1. Oh yeah, baby. One of the best missions in the entire chapter. Now, one of the reasons why I like this mission is because it really forces you to think outside the box of where you have to go and climb up and travel upon. Like how they always say, just because you have eyes doesn't mean you always see. This is really enforcing that rule, where you literally have to figure out where you're going. Look at your surroundings, because this is one of the best things about Sly. He knows his surroundings so well, and we have to be sure that we're doing the same exact thing with Sly. Because trust me, this mission took me a while to figure out on where to go and how to go, and even to find the clue bottles in this was a pain in the neck. So this is one of the reasons why I like this mission a lot, because it really forces you to challenge yourself. Number 61. Flame Fool from Sly 1. The Panda King boss fight. Oh man, this is one of my favorite boss fights. I get some people don't like it because it's very easy to do if you know what to do. And because I also heard the rumor that this was the very first ever mission very first ever chapter, I should say, sorry, that was supposed to be in Sly. So I understand why this was very easy to do. But again, I just personally love it. I get it's not the hardest or most difficult boss fight, but it really is fun, like trying to jump around and then learn your different areas and just basically dodge the Panda King's attacks. Also, the game over screens for every time it hits you is very comical to me. Number 60. Freeing the Elephant from Sly 2. One of the things I like about this particular mission is that it forces you to really climb up the branches in Rajan's area and forces you to learn how to walk rope much better. And again, just like I said in the previous entry, use your eyes to see where you have to go and where you need to go. Now, one of my favorite things about Sly is his ability to walk on ropes. I don't know if I ever mentioned this before, but the walk on rope technique is probably my favorite technique of Sly, easily. Like, this was one of the reasons why I got into Sly in the first place, because his ability to walk on ropes like this. Now, I understand that the ninja spiral jump may be more revered, and also the ability to climb on pipes and ropes in the area, but to me, walking on ropes is one of the deadliest moves that Sly could have, easily. I also love that this chapter goes a bit more depth on where Rajan gets all the spice from, and how that could lead to a future event with the spice later down the line. So yeah, this is one of the reasons why I like this mission a lot. Between the walking on ropes, a bit more stuff added to the story. Number 59. The Beginning of the End, from Sly 3. If you notice how somber I said that, it's because it really is the beginning of the end for Sly. Well, at least that's what we thought at the time. Because many people thought that this was going to be the final Sly Cooper game ever, so yeah. But yeah, this mission is very somber because, like, you feel like you're finally reaching the end of Sly, and you can feel it throughout the entire mission, where, you know, like, this is going to be one of the greatest achievements in Sly's history. And for Dr. M of all people to try and take that away from Sly while also attempting to eat him alive, yeah, this was a very intense mission. And it also adds into the story with the flashback sequence. So I like this mission a lot because it really tries to think outside the box with its story. The story, yes, could have been executed a bit better with the flashback sequence, but I'm also like, you know, this is a great way to go about Sly 3. You know, reinvent the wheel with the story. Plus, it also adds this idea that since this really is the end, we might as well enjoy every last bit of memory that we had for this series. So why not go back in time and embark on everything that we did to get to this point. Number 58. Straight to the Top, from Sly 1. Shoot, we get to use a wrecking ball to get the treasure key? Bet. Okay. So yeah, this particular mission is, I love the luminosity and the lighting in this mission. Like, it's really beautiful to explore this area. And whenever I play this mission back, it's really just so I can look at the lighting and how they really designed this entire rooftop. But if I have one gripe with this mission, it's the fact that there are so many clue bottles in this area alone. Number 57. Running Bomb, from Sly 3. I feel like I overscored this mission in my top 10 Sly Cooper's missions lists. I feel like this mission is good, but it's not like over the top great. So I feel like I definitely, you know, overscored it a bit. It's still a fun mission, having to place explosives in different areas just to make sure that the bombs destroy the blimps so that there's no more promotion for Octavio's recital. Again, it is fun stuff. But then we get to the section where Octavio knows about our plan. What? What? So yeah, we have to chase down Octavio to save Bentley, and then he just gives Bentley back afterwards. He doesn't even like throw Bentley in the water or hurt him afterwards or something. So again, I feel like the story of this mission in the second half kind of got screwed up for me. And now that I replayed the mission back, it's like, okay, now I understand, like, this mission isn't all that. It's still a good mission, and I enjoy it for what it is, but there are definitely much better Sly Cooper missions than this. Number 56. Bump Charge Jump, from Sly 3. Again, what is it about certain missions from Sly 3 that makes me feel like I'm playing a Call of Duty mission? Like, this mission makes me feel like I'm playing the mission Endgame from Modern Warfare 2 Call of Duty, where there are other boats that are trying to attack me, but in this case it's just RC cars, which again, I don't know why Dr. M has this kind of like surveillance system installed in his system. It's very crazy to me. But again, I love this mission, and this is easily my favorite mission with the RC car with Penelope. It's very fast paced, but also maintains the stealth aspect. And the RC car, while still has its moments of being uncontrollable, to me controls the best it's controlled in this entire game here. Number 55. Operation Turbo Dominant Eagle from Sly 3. Still one of the best operations in this entire series. Turbo Dominant Eagle really strikes the idea of being stealthy while there's a ton of craziness going on. So you're stealthing from above the action and stealthing from below the action. And then we get into action ourselves later in the mission. And then one of the greatest boss fights in Sly Cooper history. Again, you can't tell me that this operation doesn't stand as one of the best in the entire series. It has a little bit of everything that most Sly fans want in an operation, and this is one of the reasons why this is one of my favorite operations. Number 54. Blind Date from Sly 4. Holy shit, Carmelita's in trouble? Wait, how's Carmelita even in ancient times? Okay, we're gonna figure this out, but first, the task at hand. Save Carmelita. And the game over screen for Carmelita if she falls into the river with the jackalope is actually very, very dark. So yeah, we want to make sure we move very quick as possible to save Carmelita. And we have the man Tennessee Kid Cooper, the man known for sliding on rails and riding the range, riding the range. So yeah, I think we'll be fine. Yeah, saving Carmelita is a lot of fun to do in this mission, and there's a lot of stuff we can do in this mission as well, like shoot the jackalopes and all the guards that are trying to stop us, protect Carmelita at all costs, and remember, the cart has a health as well, so just keep an eye on that cart and make sure it doesn't take any more damage than what it needs to. And then we save Carmelita at the end, which then leads to the gang getting captured, and we have to rescue Sly, Bentley, Murray with Carmelita and Tennessee Kid later down the line. But again, I love this mission a lot. I love the saving missions in Sly Cooper. They're some of the best missions in this entire franchise. Number 53. Carmelita's Gunner from Sly 2. Now, considering that this isn't technically an operation per se, but more so just part of the gameplay itself and the story, this is one of the reasons why I didn't pair with the other ones, since it's not truly an operation. Carmelita's Gunner, I like the fact that this particular mission focuses on the idea of, basically Sly and Carmelita working together in a sense that there's a greater evil that we have to deal with. Basically the same concept as the first game. There's a bigger threat than us at the moment, so let's just focus on that, and once we do that, then we'll get back to our usual business of cops and robbers. Now, trying to shoot with this thing, it can be very difficult at times, but again, one of the reasons why I like this mission so much is that we're near the very end of Sly 2. And while I do see that this ending is a bit rushed in a way, I do think that this is still one of the better missions and endings in the Sly franchise, easily. But considering there's still another mission technically after Carmelita's Gunner, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But Carmelita's Gunner by itself, it's a good mission in the sense that we're getting near the end of the game finally. Number 52. Know Your Enemy from Sly 2. Oh man. A reconnaissance mission in Contessa's actual castle and fortitude, or home basically. Oh man, what makes this even more crazy and more nerve-wracking is the fact that one, we're right next to Neela's headquarters because she's planning on starting a war with the Contessa, so that's already extra bad news. Even more bad news, you see all the tanks and areas, all the loose spiders, all the guards that are meaner and nastier than ever. Yeah, these guys mean business. But then it gets even worse. When we head up to the education tower where Contessa's at, we realize that the Contessa has Carmelita locked up. What? And on top of that, she's gonna brainwash Carmelita into taking the fall for her at Interpol. Again, what? Yo, this is a crazy mission, bro. The reconnaissance missions are by far, they can range from being, boring to exciting. This was one of the craziest reconnaissance missions ever because we really feel like there's so much to grapple and so much to try and take control of, yet we don't know how we're going to go about it. There's just so much going on. This is the reconnaissance missions that I love more than anything in Sly. The ones that really force us to be like, how is this gonna work? And again, reconnaissance aside, it's always fun playing as Sly and exploring the area with him. Number 51. Breaking and entering from Sly 2. Oh yeah, oh heck yeah, the first breaking and entering mission in Sly 2, and it is a fun one at that. Now, the reason why I prefer playing this mission more than the last one is the excitement that I get of knowing that we're going into more deep territory with Sly. That's one of the reasons why I'm excited for this mission, just a tad bit more. There may be more chaos going on in the last mission, but this particular mission is the idea of what Sly could potentially be in the future. This particular mission sees us going through Dimitri's entire dressing room and setup and shop, and then having to go inside a vent and then figure out what his operation is going to be from down below in his cellar. This still remains one of the best reconnaissance missions in the entire franchise, just because it sets us up for how the rest of Sly 2 is going to play out. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, before we go any further, let's take another commercial break because we are about to reach the top 50 Sly Cooper missions. I hope you guys are ready. The top 50 missions ever in Sly, in my personal opinion. This is about to be a whole lot of fun. Alright, that aside from that little commercial break, let's get back to the episode. Number 50. Carmelita to the rescue from Sly 3. Just when we think that everything's gonna end and Sly's gonna get eaten alive, who else comes to the rescue? Carmelita at the last second. Remember what happened in Operation Reverse Double Cross at the ending? Where Carmelita wasn't there for the operation? Well, I like to think that postcard that Sly sent her tipped her off as to where Sly and the gang was at. Somehow, knowing Carmelita, she did some intense studying and detective work to figure out that they were at Kane Island. This is my personal theory. But either way, yeah, let's save our boy Sly. Because, let me tell you something, we get one of the darkest moments in this entire franchise if we let Sly die in here. We let Sly get eaten alive by the monster. That's how crazy of a game over screen we're talking about. And for those of you who haven't watched my video yet, definitely watch the darkest Sly Cooper or most shocking Sly Cooper moments video that I put up. I released it like a few months ago. So yeah, it's some pretty gnarly stuff. And that particular game over screen makes the entry in that video. But yeah, aside from that, we just basically have to save Sly. And again, I love using Carmelita, so this mission, no problem with this mission whatsoever. I thoroughly enjoy playing this mission. Number 49. Disguise Bridge from Sly 2. How stupid are these guards just in general, not just like these guards are by far some of the most vicious we've ever had to deal with in the entire Sly franchise, yet they're so stupid. How you let Sly pose as a statue and then you're not smart enough to see that the statue is different from the other statues. Like, I don't understand the intelligence of these guards sometimes. But yeah, this is one of the reasons why I like this mission a lot, because we can literally just troll the guards the entire time with this mission. And plus, the idea that we can pose as a statue is actually very funny to me in concept. But again, this is the Sly Cooper franchise we're talking about. We dealt with the supernatural in this series, so nothing's off limits with this franchise. Yeah, I really like this mission a lot in the sense that we can literally just troll these guards non-stop with disguising as the bridge. And if you love attacking guards from behind, this mission is your cup of tea. Number 48. Sushi House Startup from Sly 4. In this mission, we basically have to use the homeboy Ryoichi to start up his sushi house once again and put him back in business. And let me just get this out the way, if you love using Sly for ninja spiral jumps, you'll love using Ryoichi for the same exact way, and he's more deadly in his spiral jump. Number 47. Theater Pickpocketing from Sly 2. I tell you, Paris really set the tone for how the rest of the Sly games were gonna play out. While this mission can get a bit boring and tedious at times, you know, because you're basically doing the same thing, you have to pickpocket all the guards. But again, this is what we love about Sly, the stealth aspect, and this mission to me proves that time and time again. That doing something stealthy with Sly is a lot more fun than having to blow up tanks all the time. Number 46. Eavesdrop on Contessa from Sly 2. This mission is very, very frightening to play the first time around, and especially for me because, again, my fear of spiders when I was younger was what scared me the most. And again, we're using Bentley of all people. Bentley's not agile or strong as Sly or Murray, so like, it's very, very intense, I'll say. Very intense. You know, and I know the developers made that purposely, just to strike the fear in the hearts of many kids, and I'll even say grown-ups alike. The first section of this mission, we basically have to use Benelli's Binoculcom to pinpoint the Contessa so that we can eavesdrop on a conversation, which leads to the story point that she's actually secretly working for the Claw Gang. So again, this adds a lot to the story, a lot more to the story than what we could have anticipated. Now the second half of the mission is basically just hacking the train, and we do that with the good old-fashioned hack pack. This is the very first ever hacking mission in Sly 2, and let me tell you guys something, it is definitely intense. And having to do this while a train is driving full speed ahead at you is very, very crazy. You can definitely say that Bentley earned his stripes in this particular mission. Number 45. I Smell a Rat from Sly 4. The Paris Prologue in Sly 4. Now, playing this mission after not playing Sly for the first time in many, many years, if you were following the game from 2002 till now, again, it has to be very, very crazy for a lot of fans to think that we would play Sly again. Now, here we are, like 10, 11, 12 years later, still no new Sly. Anyway, aside from Sly 5, which we'll probably never get, yeah, this mission, I really enjoy this mission because it's fun getting to play as the cast again, and it's fun getting to figure out how to use these characters for the first time on a new system. And plus, the concept of time traveling, that's what's very, very interesting to me and how they went about it. Now, I know many people didn't think the time travel aspect would be taken very seriously in this game, but again, you know, the fact that they decided to do this is very crazy to me. But again, this mission is more so just about playing as Sly in the new age technology that we got. Now, it could be a hit or miss for some people, but the way Sly and Bentley Murray control in this game is very, very almost similar to the way they controlled in the old ones. The old ones definitely felt like it was more like faster paced. This one's more like it takes its time a bit, but it's more realistic in that sense in Sly 4. So yeah, I can understand why some people may be turned off by it, but I still personally enjoyed it. Number 44. Every single safe that we have to open or any side challenge or side mission from Sly franchise in general. This entry is a bit weird, but in the sense that like all the safe missions and any of the side challenges that Sly offers us, I'm always down to do and I enjoy them thoroughly. So this is one of the reasons why I put it as an entry in this particular section. Number 43. Under Arrest from Sly 4. One of the things I absolutely love about Sly 4 is its ability to think outside the box with certain things, and may have not had landed every single time, but certain things it definitely landed on. So the idea of Sly having to force himself under arrest in order to break someone out of jail. Again, I don't like the concept of Sly getting captured, but in this case, I do like the idea that this is something that's going to lead to something later down the line. So this is one of the reasons why I can forgive it this time around. And in this particular mission, you're still doing all the stuff that you're doing with Sly, the sneaking, the stealthing. Only difference is you get caught, and then that's going to lead to what we have to deal with later down the line. So yeah, I enjoy this mission for what it is and what it leads up to. Number 42. Cooper for hire from Sly 4. My gosh, I love playing as Tennessee Kid in this game. Firstly, in this first section off, is that we have to use Bentley to hack into the area that we have to get into. And before we even do that, we basically have to shoot down these giant-ass scorpions that are about to attack Bentley. Again, I love that they're throwing all these little references from the old games in Sly 4 here. But yeah, once we do that, we can basically move in with Tennessee Kid, and Tennessee Kid gets his gun back, and which is also a cane, if you can believe. And then we just have to go through the area and deal with what, spiders now? Oh, come on, man. Yo. Alright, again, aside from the giant insects that we have to deal with in this particular mission, I absolutely love everything else about this mission. Because Tennessee Kid, to me, is the best Cooper and most fun Cooper to use aside from Sly. And then the classic Vide Slayer, right in the range, and just going about that concept. Again, this is one of the best missions in Sly 4, easily. Not the best one, but it's easily one of the best ones. Number 41. Frame Team Iceland from Sly 3. Here we go now. This is the framing mission I love. Now, the reason why I like this one more than Frame Team Belgium is for one specific thing. The sewer/hotel mission. Now, let me tell you something. Sneaking through the sewer is actually very, very difficult to maneuver around because there's so much obstacles to get through. But again, I just love that the developers can basically do whatever they want with Sly and put him in circumstances like this. Now, sewer section aside, let's talk about the actual hotel. Because, let me tell you guys this. Having to sneak through a hotel with a bunch of these guys that are paranoid as heck and will wake up at the slightest movement possible is very, very nerve-wracking too. So again, you want to make sure that you're moving very quietly, and they purposely do stuff like set up a deck of cards and then have glass bottles on the ground everywhere just to see if anyone's stupid enough to break or knock it over. Once we get through that particular section, we basically exit through the sewer, and then Murray has to go and place the item in question, which is the helmet, and place it on top of one of the biplanes to frame Team Iceland with. Again, this mission is just so crazy to think about how, like, so stealthy it could get. This is probably one of the stealthiest missions in Sly in general, and I love it. Number 40. Shell-shocked heart from Sly 4. Now, when I say that this mission is very basic, it's very basic indeed. The problem comes in where we basically figure out what happens at the end of the mission and how it basically shocks the entire system. Yep, you guessed it. This is the mission where we figure out that Penelope was working with the Paradox the entire time. And on top of that, Penelope was basically using Bentley to get what she wanted. I tell you, when fans were outraged, outrage doesn't even do the word justice. Fans were beyond outraged, beyond livid at this entry, and how the fact that the company Sansaru till this very day still gets shit for what they did with this, and the fact that I even heard a rumor that they got sent death threats, which, by the way, death threats of any kind will not be tolerated on this channel or any of my friends' channel or anywhere in general, because you will get blocked and reported. Not to stray too far off topic here, but yeah, that just shows how angry people were at Sansaru for this. And I know I was definitely one of those few who was also crapping on Sansaru for going this route, but at the same time, it's like I can understand they were trying to go for something a bit different in the story. And you know what, looking back at it now, and to this point where I'm actually in a much better headspace and I can actually take the story for what it is, this actually does portray Penelope's character much better than it did in Sly 3. Because, in my opinion, it adds more in the fact that Penelope was never a moralist to begin with. She was more of an opportunist. And we saw that with the Ace's Dark Finals, where she tricked everybody into thinking she was of age so that she could do the dog fighting. And then here we are again, being an opportunist once again, trying to, you know, erase Sly from history and then have Bentley work with her. Again, you know, this really adds to Penelope's character, and I'm glad that I'm in a much better headspace now where I can actually take it for what it is and what Sansru was actually trying to do. So again, to any of the Sansru employees that are watching this video by any chance, I apologize for my constant slander of you guys in the past, and I hope you guys can forgive me for what I did up until now. Number 39. Hard Target from Sly 4. This mission takes place right after we find out about Penelope's betrayal. Now we're pissed off, and we're looking to stop Penelope once and for all. And this next mission does a great job at setting up what the operation's gonna be. In this particular mission, Sir Galuf comes up with the idea of blowing the gates of Penelope's castle wide open with an explosive device. So in the first section of this mission, we're basically gonna use Sir Galuf to get these fire bulbs at the top of these plants in the area. And then the second half of the mission, we use Sly for like the archery contest so that we can win some magic powder. I love both these missions a lot in the sense that it became very personal for the gang to make sure that Penelope stopped once and for all. And plus the archery costume with Sly is a lot of fun to use. I don't know if I talked about that earlier, but it's very fun to use in this, especially in another mission that I'm going to talk about much later on this list. Number 38. Copycats from Sly 4. This is a mission where things go haywire, but in the right kind of way. Where like, instead of us getting caught kind of haywire, we're just put in a more, bigger, badder spot than what we were, kind of chaotic. So like, now we have to sneak through another different area and figure out how to get to where we wanted to go initially, which was literally just 5 steps away. I also love that we get a reference to Henrietta One-Eyed Cooper in this mission, and she's a Cooper that I think deserves a little bit more attention in the series. I also love the reference to a Sly 1 mission that we're going to talk about in the very next spot in a second. But yeah, basically the ship sinking segment in this area is also a lot of fun to do, and especially if you're used, because this time around you have the outfit from Salim that slows down time, which allows you to move a bit quicker. All these different variables that go into this mission is one of the reasons why I absolutely love playing this mission and why it's a top 40 mission for me. Number 37. Sinking Perel from Sly 1. Remember how I said in the entry before that there was a mission that was being referenced? Well, this is the mission that they were referencing, the Sinking Perel. So, I love this mission much more than I do the one in Sly 4, mainly because this is the one that got it right and there's no time travel aspect of it, so it forces you to actually be very quick. So yeah, we basically have to get to the top of the entire tower before it falls into the lava completely and we burn alive. This mission is absolutely a lot of fun. It's got a good kind of tension in which you have to move very quick, otherwise you're gonna get screwed. And if you're anything like me when I play video games, you've died to this mission a few times, but the reason why you still don't rage quit is because you absolutely love playing this mission. It's just one of the best race against time missions in my personal opinion. And it's also one of the few missions where the game over screen actually does come in handy, so that you ain't gotta start back from a certain checkpoint. It really helps in that way. Number 36. Boneyard Casino from Sly 1. A lot of Mugshot's missions and areas are some of my favorite missions to do in this entire game. Aside from the racing mission, they're just so much fun and it really does add to the thief aspect. And one of the reasons why I think Mugshot's area is one of the best ones in the entire franchise. There are basically any worlds that makes me feel like an actual thief and I'm trying to steal stuff, it really helps add to the Sly Cooper nature. This mission, however, though, is very notorious for having some of the hardest flashlight guards in the entire franchise. These dog flashlight guards will track you down, and then the missiles that they shoot out of their guns is heat-seeking. So imagine doing this and then getting caught every single time. And this is one of the reasons why this mission won't place any higher, because trying to get past these flashlight guards sometimes is a real pain in the neck. However, I'll throw this out there. I love the little roulette sections that they have in here, and I love the clue bottles are just straightforward. Number 35. A Friend in Need from Sly 2. This is the first ever mission where we get to see Carmelita roam the free world in any of these Sly games, and let me tell you something, it was very crazy seeing this happen. What's even more crazier, just to go off on a little side note here, is that I've always wondered what would happen if Carmelita met up with the giant grown-ass mother bear that was in that cave. And there's a video out there dedicated to that, and it turns out the bear gets the floor mopped with. And it's very funny to think that Carmelita is that powerful and OP in the game that no one can defeat her except herself. Just had to throw that little bit of information and fun coolness out there for anybody interested. The mission itself, it's a whole lot of fun trolling the heck out of Carmelita this entire mission, where you pickpocket the key and then you just free Murray afterwards. However, I will say this woman Carmelita is very, very determined to capture Sly. It is almost unreal how determined she is. So just be ready for a real fight after you pickpocket from her. Number 34. Operation Gold Digger from Sly 4. This is one of the 2 train operations and many train missions that we have in this series, and the fact that the worst one in my opinion is ranked this high just goes to show how amazing these train missions really are. Now, I love this operation with a burning passion. The mere fact that we have to pull off not one heist, but 2 heists at the same time. The first heist being retrieving Murray's van, the second heist being stealing the gold so that it goes to Tennessee Kid. That's the craziest part about this whole operation to me. However, much like the other chapters, because they were trying to replicate Sly 2's success with failing each time, basically, we still end up losing at the end because we end up losing Tennessee Kid's cane at the end. But that doesn't erase the amount of excitement that I had playing this operation for the first time. Number 33. Operation Canada Games from Sly 2. Yo. This dude John Bassan really is something else, bro. Like, the first ever villain in the entire franchise to see past our disguises. That's crazy enough. And again, John Bassan to me is easily a top 10 villain. Looking back at it, if I had to redo that top 10 best Sly Cooper villains video, he would have been number 10 easily. But yeah, basically, we try to cheat our way through the entire operation, which doesn't work. As I stated earlier, John Bassan sees through us, disguises, and then knocks us out with the talons, and then traps us in his log cabin. Now, we have to use Bentley to break out of the log cabin, but of course, John Bassan is there, and to our knowledge, John Bassan stole all our clockwork parts and sold them to Arpeggio while we were knocked out. Which begs the question, first, how did he even give Arpeggio the parts if Arpeggio didn't show up yet? 2, how long were we knocked out for? Then afterwards, John Bassan's racist behind basically calls every turtle stupid, and now it's gut check time. So we use Bentley to defeat him, and then we have to use Sly, Murray, and Bentley to get to the battery silo before Arpeggio gets there. This mission is just pure chaos story-wise, in terms of 1, John Bassan hinting that he did chop off one of his contestants' head and place it in his log cabin for giving him a score other than 10, and then 2, showing how smart he really is and just acting dumb the entire time just to fool the Cooper gang. You gotta love that they didn't just make John Bassan another just boneheaded, I'm strong as heck but I'm dumb as hell villain. Like, this adds more complexity to the character, and the operation does it justice too. Number 32. Showdown with Clockler from Sly 2. Oh man, this particular section is very, very intense from the get-go. First off, Arpeggio's blimp is completely destroyed, and so we have to literally fly through the sky in order to catch up to Clockler, aka Kneeler, in order to save Bentley and Murray from Clockler. Then we have to basically punch, this is a part where I got confused as a kid. I don't know if anybody else got confused. But basically, you have to go on each side of the wing and punch Clockler in the head on both sides, which will knock her out to the ground. And then we have to do the final task at hand, which is basically remove the hate chip. And this is where the story gets very, very dark. Kneeler, knowing that she's about to lose, decides she's going to leave her mark on the Cooper gang forever. She cripples Bentley, and Murray's not able to save Bentley in time. The gang manages to escape before the parts blow up, and then they use the hate chip to smash it, completely destroying all the parts for good. And we're back to cops and robbers with Sly in the gang. The reason why this mission ranks very high on the list for me is the price that every single person in this game paid to get to this point. A lot of characters either died, got crippled, got hurt physically, got hurt mentally, and would change completely after these events. The ending of this entire game, and this mission in particular, is just very sad because it shows how power and money can change people for the worst. And I'm not even just talking about the innocent lives that got lost during this. It's just sad to see how a lot of these villains' pasts really shaped who they were, and they felt like there was no other way aside from this path. And this is one of the main reasons I feel like Sly gave up the demon life after the end of Sly 3, because it really just wasn't worth it anymore. And this mission is a prime example of that, where his two best friends got hurt physically for good and then mentally for good, and now Sly has to live with that pain and reminder. So while this mission may not be like over the top gameplay wise, it's definitely story wise one of the better missions in this entire franchise. Number 31. Blimp HQ Recon from Sly 2. We're back at Arpeggio's Blimp, ladies and gentlemen, and for this one, we basically have to go inside Arpeggio's headquarters inside the Blimp, and then just, basically do some reconnaissance photos. Now, this is where we learn that Neela's been working with Arpeggio the whole time. Big shocker there. Then afterwards, we basically have to figure out how to destroy the clockwork parts on the spot, or at least prevent Arpeggio from getting any further in his progress. However, that particular plan backfires on us because firstly, Bentley needs way more times on these things to think these things through. And secondly, Sly should have known better than to try to get a quick plan out of the way like that. So yeah, because we end up destroying the magnetic fields, it actually fuses Clockwork together, and now Clockwork is just literally a hypnotic light show away from becoming immortal once again. We also get one last shot of Neela's true nature with her betraying Arpeggio and then killing him right on the spot right in front of us. So yeah, this mission is very, very intense, like the last one from the get-go, because now it's really a huge race against time now. Like, we need to stop Clockwork tonight. That's how bad it is. Number 30. A rocky start from Sly 1. I won't go into too much detail about this particular mission. It's basically the introduction level to Mugshot's area. We also get a nice little section where the clue bottles are hidden in very creative spots, so definitely look out for them. But yeah, this area is basically very, very quiet at first. It confuses us. But then when we get more into the second half, or the second section of this whole area, it's basically where Mugshot explains why he chased off everybody. So yeah, this mission is cool. It's definitely a fun mission to go, and I like this mission a lot, but there's another one that I like just a tad bit better than this one. Number 29. Crypt Hack from Sly 2. We back once again with the OG, and what is he up to this time? Doing his usual hack pack missions. Now, the funniest part about this mission is the fact that Bentley literally says, I better not take any damage because it is, after all, an acid battery I'm carrying on my back. Now, I can't even imagine just carrying an acid battery pack on your back like that. Like, as someone who worked at a car parts store before and had to deal with acid-filled batteries, like, just the idea of that scares me. Of just having a shit ton of acid just fall on you like that and then potentially scarring you for the rest of your life. The mission itself, though, is good. I do enjoy doing these hacking missions, and it's fun watching what happens in Contessa's little area where she's trying to brainwash Carmelita, and just seeing the little things light up at the end showing that, that station's going to be ready to hack at any moment. Really shows how smart Contessa is, but it also shows how much smarter Bentley is. Number 28. Dark Caves from Sly 3. In this mission, we basically have to retrieve the Guru's gear. The first dark cave we have to go through basically is a bunch of drills in the area, and we have to steal his moonstone. The second cave, however, proves to be a bit more difficult in terms of we gotta steal the staff. The area is much darker than the other area, but luckily the moonstone is helping us light up the area a bit more. And the reason why this second dark cave is much harder than the first one, in the sense that it is darker, and the fact that you have to get creative in how you escape between the vice slails, the climbing, and then the wall hooks. Like, this is basically a prime Sly Cooper area. However, just be careful when leaving the area with these things because they do have a timer for which they will explode if you don't get out in time. Number 27. Operation Mousetrap from Sly 4. I bet we about to get our revenge on Penelope. Now, I almost said Neela. I don't know if anyone caught that. I almost said Neela, but yeah, Penelope's the one we want. Basically, we have to go attack Penelope in what I personally believe is one of the better boss fights that we have in this series. The giant robot, and then the second half where we defeat the giant robot and Penelope goes to try and hurt us again. But then, our man, the OG Bentley, comes back to help save us. The two, Bentley and Penelope, have a mini conversation about why she did what she did. Bentley's trying to persuade her that Le Paradox doesn't care about her, which he doesn't. But Penelope doesn't want to hear it, feeling that she's nobody's puppet. So now, these two are going to have to throw hands with the robots. Now, we do defeat her, and I can already tell that Bentley's going to be hurting for a long time after this. But let me tell you something, it was very satisfying beating Penelope, especially after all the trouble she caused us. My only gripe with this mission is the fact that we still have yet to hear about what happened since these events and if Penelope is gonna try to get revenge or not. But again, that's up to Sony, and hopefully Sony can maybe have an artist work on a comic book series that's considered canon, or hopefully they'll find another producer to make the video game. Number 26. A battery of Perel from Sly 3. I don't care what anybody says, I love this mission so much. I love when Carmelita is involved in these missions and we're always trolling the heck out of her. Basically, after saving Murray's van, we realize that the van's battery cell is completely trashed after being in the ice water for so long. So now, we have to find another battery and just basically stabilize it and get more energy in it so that it can power Murray's van so that we can leave with it. The hardest part of this situation, however, is just it needs to be charged, and luckily Carmelita's in the area and she happens to have a shock pistol that can help charge that for us. So we just go about making sure that she shoots the heck out of us, and then we just stabilize the battery and get Murray's van charged back up once again. The missions where we troll Carmelita non-stop are some of my favorite missions in this entire franchise because I love the flirtation between Sly and Carmelita so much. Number 25/24. Duel by the Dragon /Two to Tango from Sly 1. We back at it with Carmelita chasing us once again. I don't know why I love these Carmelita missions so much. Maybe there's something about Carmelita, but I'm not sure. I can't quite put my finger on it. But anyway, we're not going to go into that. Let's just go into the mission itself. I do like the idea of Carmelita entering these missions in Sly 1 because it shows that Sly is still trying to find his footing as a thief. So he's going to have these encounters, and these encounters are going to basically train him and teach him how to escape. And again, who doesn't love the flirtation between Sly and Carmelita in these games? Number 23. Mega Jump Job from Sly 2. The Mega Jump combined with the Paraglide makes for a deadly combination in Sly. And I really wish that they kept the Mega Jump within Sly. Unfortunately, however, it's only delegated to a Carmelita power-up, I guess just to make sure Carmelita has good power-ups too. But again, Sly having the Mega Jump Job really is a deadly tactic to use, especially with the Paraglide. And in this particular mission, you basically have to jump up to the top of these towers and press the button so that basically it's like a Wi-Fi shock that will help send the signals to Carmelita about our coordination and location. It's another incredible and amazing mission, and the only reason it ranks this low is just because I like the other missions above it just a bit more. Number 22/21. Police HQ and Police Headquarters from Sly 3 and Sly 1 respectively. I love these missions a lot. I love that the first introduction to these Sly games is basically Sly breaking into a police headquarters. It really sets the tone for what this story is going to be for Sly, and I love the one in Sly 1 a whole lot more than Sly 3. While Sly 3 sets the tone for how the rest of the game is going to go about, in terms of the dialogue button, getting caught when we least expect it, but Sly 1 does it in a way that's very groundbreaking, a groundbreaking story for video gaming, and why Sly is one of the most revered gaming thieves in history. Police Headquarters, in my opinion, is one of the most iconic missions in Sly's history, and the Police HQ mission is just as good as this one. Maybe not as iconic, but just as fun to play. Number 20. A strange reunion from Sly 1. The Clockwork boss battle, and to me, this boss battle is very iconic. I know some people hate it because it is very difficult to complete sometimes, but it's just the iconicness of meeting Clockwork for the first time. And again, I still believe to this very day that kids got scared looking at Clockwork. This battle is very intense, very in your face, and I know the controls aren't everybody's cup of tea, but I love this mission a lot because I'm ready to take down Clockwork. This is the man who ruined our lives, and the fact that we're on our way to stop him once and for all is really a feeling of catharsis that we never would have imagined. Easily one of the best missions and best boss fights in my personal opinion. Number 19. Last Call from Sly 1. Another boss fight that I actually thoroughly enjoy is the mugshot boss fight. It takes the concept of a basic approach of a boss fight and then actually makes it a bit more unique, where you basically have to run around and knock these mirrors over in order to stop a mugshot and basically fry his guns. And then the very last section where we have to ninja spiral jump across different points in the ceiling and then hit the mirrors so that it fries his guns at the very top. Now I know this boss fight, again, it's not like very popular with a lot of people, but again, I thoroughly enjoyed it a lot more than I did when I made the boss fights video a few months ago. Number 18. The Final Legacy from Sly 3. What we initially thought was the final mission in Sly Cooper history ever, and if it had stayed that way, oh man, it would have been one of the best endings to any trilogy possible. Now, this particular boss fight with Dr. M is easily one of the hardest ones, much like Clockwork's boss fight. It's very hard. But if you know what you're doing and you know the patterns, then you can basically defeat Dr. M just fine. What I also love about this mission is that Dr. M and Sly really have a ton of character development through the dialogue alone. And even Carmelita gets character development too, with Carmelita lying about Sly's occupation and telling him that he's actually her partner in crime to stop crime from all over the world. Seeing Carmelita break character like that was really something I don't think a lot of fans ever saw coming in this series. But of course this was potentially the last game in the series, so you definitely have to go out with a bang. But yeah, the boss fight itself is really fun, and then the moment where we use Carmelita to basically overpower Dr. M before she checks on Sly is very satisfying. And again, even though the cynic in me had always wished that this had just remained the true ending of the entire franchise, I will still give Sanzaru credit and praise for attempting to make the fourth game and have it come from a place of heart and love the way they did. Number 17. Operation Thunderbeak from Sly 2. I know to a lot of people this is the best operation to them. I still really like this operation, I just don't like it as much as some of the other operations that I'm going to talk about in a sec. But yeah, Thunderbeak is literally the pinnacle Sly Cooper operation, if I'm speaking from an objective standpoint. So yeah, this operation basically has everything. It has stealth, little bit of action, little bit of chaos, which is always, fun to have, and then the boss fight at the end, and then it having it in a very quiet private setting where it's just two men throwing hands with each other. And also it's in Paris, which is easily one of the best, if not the best, Sly Cooper world to be in. There's nothing more I can really say on this mission other than the fact that it's near flawless, and I really don't see how anybody could hate this operation or mission. Number 16. Operation Choo Choo from Sly 2. Gold Digger is good, this is better. Reason why I like this operation more than Gold Digger, because of the environment, because of what's at stake, and because of what we're dealing with. And also the little bit side quest that we have with Neela trying to intervene as well. If I never mentioned this before, I'll mention it again. I am an absolute sucker for snow maps. So if I ever had to pick a train ride in the snow versus a train ride in the desert, the snow train ride is going to win out every single time. And I swear to you, every time I play this mission, I get a better sense of accomplishment and a feeling of like, oh my goodness, that was so exhilarating. We stole 3, count them, 3 clockwork parts. Number 15. The Cairo Museum break-in from Sly 2. Remember how I said that the police headquarters mission from Sly 1 is iconic? Well, this particular break-in is much more iconic. I mean, like, it is the staple of video game openings in video game history. We have Sly, the thief, breaking into a museum to steal some very valuable parts, the clockwork parts, and then we have his 2 buddies, Bentley, the brains of the operation, and Murray, the strength and brawn of the operation, and these 3 are working together to steal the parts from the museum. Again, if this doesn't spell an espionage stealth film, I don't know what else does. And it's also perfect in the fact that we have 2 cops after us too, in Carmelita Fox and Constable Neela. This is easily one of the greatest openings in video game history, and I guarantee you this is one of the reasons why Sly 2 is still lauded and regarded as one of the greatest video games in the PlayStation's history. Number 14. A stealthy approach from Sly 1. A rocky start is good, this is much better. Why do I like this one better than Rocky Start? Because of the environment, the music that's playing, and just the idea of just, you know, like this is our very first journey with Sly. And we're getting a hint at what this guy's really like and how he operates. And again, I can't state this enough, but the controls and the way this environment's set up so that we can use Sly in the controls, amazing, absolutely amazing. And I love the music too. This is one of my favorite soundtracks in the entire video game. Number 13. Back Alley Heist from Sly 1. If you've been a subscriber of the channel since day 1, then you basically know how much I love Back Alley Heist. So much so that I made a song with Back Alley Heist. You can check it at the tab at the top of the video here. So yeah, I don't need to go any further if you've been on this channel watching for so long, but I love the theme song to this, and I love the area and how it basically uses the camera. I love the way Sly jumps across different platforms in here and how he sneaks around the area, and the flashlight guards aren't as menacing as they were in Boneyard Casino. Everything about this mission I just absolutely love, and I still love to this very day. Number 12. Operation Hippo Drop from Sly 2. One of the greatest operations in Sly Cooper history, and to me, I like this operation just a bit more than Thunderbeak. This operation really combines a lot of different elements of being a thief, between the stealth, the thieving, the distraction. It just all blends so perfectly in this particular operation here. And I also love the dance sequence with Sly and Carmelita. Especially if you notice that Murray is stealing the clockwork parts as we're doing the dance sequence. And it's actually very, very telling that it shows how greatly everyone gets distracted from the dance rather than watching Murray in the background. And then once we accomplish the heist at hand, we basically just escape with our lives and leave the rest of the other suspects to get arrested. Again, I love this operation so much, and I enjoy playing it every single time. And to me, it's one of those operations that you never get sick and tired of playing, no matter how many times you played. It's just one of those things where you enjoy it so much, you'll never get sick of it. Number 11. Jailhouse Blues from Sly 4. The last spot before we get into the top 10 in our list Number 11 is the Jailhouse Blue mission, and basically we're just breaking Tennessee Kid out of jail. This mission right here really has you thinking outside the box in terms of sneaking and stealing our way out of here. And while some may argue we did it better in the Contessa's area in Prague, I enjoy this much better doing it with Tennessee Kid in the Wild West. Especially since this is a straight up mission that we're doing this in and not like something we're building up towards like the operation. And this mission is a prime example of how, even though some fans may not admit it, was how Sly 4 still was able to maintain that stealth and gameplay aspect. Alright everybody, we are about to head into the top 10 Sly Cooper missions of all time. Out of all 207 missions, we are finally at the top 10. Hope you guys enjoyed this video up till now, and if you guys have any questions down below, please comment them and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Or if you guys have any video suggestions, let me know. I'll get to them as quick as I can. Now, let's do this. The top 10 Sly Cooper missions, the 2024 edition. Number 10. Juggling Act from Sly 4. After playing every mission over and over again in Sly 4, this still remains my favorite mission in Sly 4. Just the idea of Sly and the circus being together works so good together, it's not even funny how much I love this mission. If I ever play Sly 4 and I just feel like doing a mission, this is probably the one mission I play over and over again more than anything else. No other mission or operation in Sly 4 can top it in my opinion. Number 9. Tearful Reunion from Sly 3. Again, the story point in this mission and the idea of a possible connection between these characters is what really drives this mission for me. Murray's van is found in the Chinese water, and we have to get it out so that Murray can bring it back to the safe house and they can try to fix it. But the problem is that so many guards in that area know of what's going on that they try to stop Murray and the gang from getting Murray's van back. But Murray is so hell-bent on getting his van back to the area, he treats his van as if it was a daughter, meaning that he will never leave her behind again. And this is where the story point comes in and the emotional connection comes in, because Panda King of all people is the one who relates to Murray's story the most, feeling that Jing King he could relate to Murray's van in that they both love their daughters and they don't want him to go. He's willing to help Murray get the van back by shooting away a path for the van to get back to the safe house. Again, stuff like this is what's needed in these video games and stories. It's stuff that I just can't find in certain video games and stories anymore. Just the emotional connection that brought to me and how much it made me tear up every time I play this mission. It's just very, very touching. It's very touching and loving, and I just love seeing that character growth in Panda King, and I love the idea that the Cooper Gang members are slowly starting to warm up to him. It works perfectly for me every single time. And the mission itself is good too. I love using Penelope's chopper, and Panda King's shooting is actually pretty good too. Number 8. Lemon Rage from Sly 3. All these years later, and it's still the best brawl mission in my opinion. Lemon Rage is a beast of a mission. First part of the mission, you basically challenge these miners to a drink-off, but because Bentley looked like he spilled more lemonade than he actually drunk, which, you know, in everyone's eyes he did, miners get upset at this and they decide to start a good old classic barroom brawl. This is a great brawl. Everybody is getting involved. You use every single character, and you just mop the floor with the miners, and even the big dog miner that you have to face as well. The Band of Thieves aspect is really brought to life in this mission here, and I wish there were more missions like this that involved Sly, Bentley, and Murray together, working together like this, rather than each and every one of them do like itty-bitty parts of a mission that comes together at the end for the operation. If there were more missions where it was just the three of them working together, it would have worked great in my opinion. Number 7/number 6. Ride the Iron Horse / Theft on the Rails from Sly 2. These train missions just remain a crucial aspect in Sly. Like, I absolutely love climbing and sneaking on the train with Sly and Bentley in these missions. And if I had to pick, Theft on the Rails I like just a tad bit more than Ride the Iron Horse. They're both practically the same mission though, so it wouldn't bother me whichever one is ranked higher or lower, but I think just playing as Sly is a lot more fun for me than Bentley. Also, I love the idea of the fact that we can steal up to 3 clockwork parts in this area. Both these missions deserve a lot of love and praise for basically sticking to the formula of Sly and making it very, very amazing. Number 5. Operation High Road from Sly 2. Yo, the amount of things that go haywire in this operation alone is insane, and the fact that it still works as an operation and a story point is great and amazing to me. Firstly, we have to save Carmelita and manipulate the war. Nextly, Neela steals the clockwork part that we wanted, so we have to follow her and get her back. Then, Bentley has to figure out how to get the airplanes out of the way for Sly and Murray. Then he gets shot down. We're still chasing Neela. Neela gets caught in the web that gets knocked aside. Now Contessa and Sly are battling for the eye. Carmelita tries to escape with the other eye, and Bentley has to tell Murray about it, so Murray goes after Carmelita to stop the tank and get the other eye, and Sly still has to fight off Contessa to get the one eye back. All of that in one mission. One operation alone. I know these operations are supposed to be the icing on the cake for every single area, but this was just crazy. This was easily the second best operation in my opinion. This was the second ever operation to go haywire like this, the first one being Wet Tiger, but to me it is easily the second best operation to go haywire. Again, why is it second best in all these categories? Well, we're going to talk about that a bit later in this list. But Operation High Road deserves to be second on the list because of what it accomplished and how it still maintained the Sly Cooper aspect. Number 4. Laptop Retrieval from Sly 3. Even as a kid, I love this operation, and most times kids are the type to love everything in a video game, good or bad. But even as a kid, until now, I knew from that point that Laptop Retrieval was easily the best mission, best boss fight easily, or one of the best missions easily in the entire franchise. There was just no topping it. You get to fight General Sal in the air at one point, and then fight him on the ground afterwards where he tries to go Captain America on you. Plus, you're not restricted to, the quick time events or anything. It's just a free range, free for all battle with your skills and then General Sal's skills. Plus, General Sal reveals his true colors as a villain with one quote that still haunts a lot of people to this day.
But she doesn't want to marry you. She's a woman. She doesn't know up from down.
You cannot tell me that this man isn't one of the greatest Sly Cooper villains of all time. This mission is one of the best missions of all time, and I wouldn't argue with anybody who puts it as their very best ever. But it's number 4 for me because there's 3 other missions that I like a little more than this one. Number 3. Ballroom Dance Party from Sly 2. I've talked about this mission loads of times, and I don't have no problem talking about it once again. Basically, we have to ransack one of Rajan's areas and hotels so that we can steal a tuxedo from the area. And then the second half of the mission, basically dancing with Neela and trying to get Carmelita to look at us so that she can have a dance partner. Again, the idea of using dance as a distraction and a tool to get farther in the operation and mission is easily one of the greatest concepts for a thief ever. This just screams a gentleman's thief from the late 1800s to the early 1900s. You can't tell me or convince me otherwise. I've loved this mission for the longest time, and it's always been in the top 3 favorite missions of mine, along with 2 other missions that I'll talk about in a quick second. And it's funny too because I was always scared of this mission for the longest time because I had no idea what I was going to deal with or what I was going to do when I got to this section, because I thought I had to deal with the Contessa for the longest time. But when I did finally get through this section area, I ended up loving it a lot more than I ever would have anticipated easily. Ballroom Dance Party is one of those missions that you just look back and you just say, masterpiece. It's an absolute masterpiece. Number 2. Operation Wedding Crasher from Sly 3. This mission was so dang close to getting number 1 on this list just because, much like High Road, there was so much about this mission that went haywire, but the fact that we still managed to finish it and complete it in time while still being stealthy, oh man. This operation has a little bit of everything that you want in a story and mission. Love, tragedy, a bit of comedy, and a bit of tension sprinkled on top of all that. And what do we get? An absolute beast of a mission and operation, which still remains the best operation to me to this very day. I don't care what anybody says, I will go to the grave thinking that. And while this particular mission could have easily gotten number 1 for me, there was one more mission that I just felt more accomplished and more satisfied in doing than any of the other missions on this list. Because even though while I love Ballroom Dance Party and Operation Wedding Crasher, those two just don't have the sense of joy and accomplishment that I get every time I play this particular mission. What is that mission, I hear you ask? Out of 207 missions, we got through 206 of them. But which one stands out above all the others as the greatest mission of all time in Sly Cooper history, in my personal opinion? Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you the number 1 spot on this list, Ancestors Gauntlet from Sly 3. There will never be another Sly Cooper mission that gives me this amount of joy and happiness and satisfaction in knowing we accomplished everything that we could ever accomplish in the Sly franchise. From stealing back our family heirloom book from Sly 1, to finally destroying our arch enemy's body parts for good in Sly 2, to now finally getting all the inheritance from our ancestors in Sly 3. You can't tell me that no one could have wrote a better script than this. It was the near perfect way to end off this entire trilogy. And yes, while Sly 3 had its problems in terms of the story consistencies and character developments, this mission still remains one of the great missions of all time, and Sly 3 was the best possible ending we could have had for the Sly Cooper trilogy. And this mission was and still remains the best reason why. And even after getting a chance to look and possibly take all of his family's inheritance, Sly decides to give it all up and give it to the other gang members for them to take and use for the rest of their lives with. Everything about this mission and the missions that followed it after in Sly 3 was just a nice, sweet little happily ever after ending for Sly that I wish they would have stuck with. But no matter what your opinion is on everything that happened to the series after this game, you cannot tell me that Ancestors Gauntlet is at least a top 10 Sly Cooper mission for you. Like, this mission is by far the most glorious, most satisfying, most heartwarming feeling ever. We did it, everyone. We did it. We got through this video. I apologize that this video is as long as it is, guys, but I wanted to make sure that I covered every single mission, and I gave each mission at least 30 plus seconds of talking time. So again, as always, guys, thank you so much for supporting the videos and subscribing to the channel. It really helps the channel grow a lot, and I really love all of you. Thank you so much. And as far as I'm concerned with Sly Cooper, I'm still going to talk about Sly Cooper on this channel. There's going to be a bit of a shakeup on things that I do on this channel in the future. Won't start until 2025, I'll say. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of different stuff happening on the channel here. I got some original stuff that I'm working on. Comic dubs may not be as much as they used to be in 2025. But I'll still put out a few here and there. Like, I know I'm still working on the 2 big events with the Mario Sonic football game, and then 4 plumbers working together to save the princesses. So yeah, I got stuff coming out, and then I'll doing gameplays too now, so hope you guys can enjoy those. And again, guys, as always, thank you so much for the channel, supporting it always. If you have any video suggestions on Sly Cooper or any franchise in general, just ask me in the comment section down below and I'll answer it best I can. And again, this is your boy Sly Lancy, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.